This is the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
I'm not making any money talking these days. Good Christ. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. Still am. I guess I am a decent guy because I'm a fucking jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Apparently I'm a dick. I'm not an awful guy, but I've done so much ridiculous stuff. I'm an awful guy. Hey, what's happening, Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. And what was that noise? Did you hear that noise? I think you did. Folks, look, you hear me all the time. You hear me talking into space. You hear me talking alone, and you hear Lily forced to fake laugh her way through it. And very rarely have you ever heard me talk to somebody else. Certainly not on this show. This is the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. And that's all it is, because I have no friends. I can't get anybody here to hang out and talk to me. Today, folks, that all changes. Final show of year 2, episode 52 of year 2, episode 104, technically 101. Some of them don't count. I explained that earlier. But I have guests, and what guests would you want me to have other than, folks, ladies and gentlemen, please let me present to you the now world-famous Rock Sugar is in the house.
Hey, what do you know, dude?
Right.
I like those
Rock
guys.
Sugar,
They're funny, man.
I'm going to go around the table, and I'm going to set it up. Who's this on my immediate left whose knee I'm touching awkwardly?
Ooh, that's nice.
Well,
you guys look good together, man.
First of all, that's my knee.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And my knee has a name.
Mm-hmm. Sexy knee.
I'm Chuck Duran.
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm
Touching
the
my
guitar
knee
player
back.
for Rock Sugar.
Chuck Duran, ladies
Yeah,
and
Hey.
and master orchestrator.
Let's give it up.
gentlemen. And to your left is our friend.
Hi, I'm Jesse Harnell. I am the lead singer and big Mike Schmidt fan, I might add, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, listen, they listen to 2 shows.
That's all it takes.
As long as you keep talking about us, we're your biggest fans.
Exactly.
Mike.
That's all I got to do.
2 takes, you're done.
And then, of course, our producer Lily Von Stupp is here.
Hi, Lily.
Hey.
Lily was going to.
Yeah,
Get
see, look at
down,
that.
girl.
Whoa, I missed that.
You see, dude, you're on the wrong side of the table.
Lily just pulled her tits out. Honestly, Lily pulled her tits out for Rock Sugar. This is
Habits die hard.
spiraled
man.
completely. No. So I'm here with these. I can't believe you've come. I'm so excited
We
that you
love
came
you, dude.
and came to the show. If you haven't been paying attention, first of all, I want to get this out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. Rock Sugar was referred to me by a different guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I love you guys, and I'm happy to be on board with you. But there was a guy named Carl Shaw who found me on Facebook and goes, "Hey, you kind of like a certain music. You might like Rock Sugar."
Thanks, Carl.
And so I shrunk. I looked you up. I told this story, and then I listened to you at 4 a.m. and fucking could not stop listening to you. It was audio crack, is what it was.
Man,
Audio
thank
crack.
you.
I like that.
I pulled up the first I watched.
Crack looks like sugar if you on
It
first
does.
glance.
Yeah.
And I pulled up Sandman and watched that, and then watched whatever was on YouTube, the fan videos that were put together, and then I found the website, and I listened to all the audio snippets, ordered the album that night, went insane.
Thank you, man.
So I thanked Carl Shaw, that's who it is. I thanked him via email, and then I also mentioned him on my show.
Now you should know that Carl Shaw is actually Chuck's screen name. So
Is it
that's
really?
all, it was all Chuck just trying to get your attention,
Yeah,
dude.
things work
Because he's
out.
been a stalker for you for a long time. Actually, it was Lily. He's a stalker for Lily. I'm sorry, Mike.
Get in line. So I mentioned this. I talk about Carl. I mentioned you guys. And you guys, not only do I hear from you, I hear from your publicist. I hear from Polestar. You're fucking here, all right? This thing unfolded like
We're moving in,
This
Mike.
snowball is huge, running downhill. You know who I have not heard from?
Who?
Carl Shaw.
Why is that?
Guy has
Carl,
never,
where are you?
He's not contacted me. He hasn't written a thank you, a fuck you, nothing at
You know
all
why?
from Carl
It's
Shaw.
because he served his purpose and now we killed him.
Yeah. He's like in Europe. I went to his Facebook page. He might have died. Honestly, Carl Shaw could be dead. I went to his Facebook page. There's like no activity since the 5th. I mean, he may have.
That's what I'm saying.
This might have been
He
his
did
life's
what he
work.
came to do, bro.
He's like, what is it? It's a hummingbird. What mates once and dies?
He was the messenger pigeon.
Chucky
He
made
was-
Chuck
once and
Duran-
dies. We're still trying to
Exactly.
get him hooked up.
Chuck
Guy came,
Duran.
He delivered the message, and now he went. He's done.
That's it. That's all he gets.
His job's done.
Yeah, but thanks, Carl. We loved you, dude.
Yes.
I got to say, I'm happy to see Jess Harnell without a hat on, too. Because,
Yeah.
dude, seeing you on the YouTube clips, I'm praying that wasn't fake.
Oh,
I'm like
God.
going, oh, dude.
That'd be
please.
sad, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because again, in LA, there's a lot of bands that, there's the Spasmatics who do the 80s. There's
Very
the Steel
good.
Panther.
Very good.
Who's Ralph with? Who's the Van Halen band?
Ralph, he's the singer for Steel Panther. He used to sing for Atomic Punks,
Atomic
which was
Punks.
Van Halen tribute.
There you go. We
Yep.
made fun of him on a plane once. Just
Okay.
not made fun of him. We love Atomic Punks.
Yeah,
saw
sure,
them.
they're fantastic.
Come on, but when they get on a plane with you, it's retarded.
It is retarded.
And so I'm with my buddy Pat, and Pat keeps yelling, "Ralph, give me a break!" Like Ted Templeman, just trying to get him. And Ralph wants nothing to do with it.
He wouldn't do it?
No, please.
Okay.
He's in the back of the plane. My friend is yelling it on a plane. Pat France is crazy.
Unchained.
But dude, don't
Come
start.
on, I know, man.
All right, let's get into that.
All right, we'll get into that.
If you don't know,
Thanks,
folks, I'll
man.
tell you right
You
now.
got me
What you can. I'm sorry.
Chuck got me this bracelet one time because he was really late at the frickin' mall. I said
Uh-huh.
frickin', he was late at the frickin' mall, and so I made him buy me this bracelet because he kept me waiting for an hour.
And I could stop talking if you want to have a
No,
conversation.
dude, it's all about you. No, see, the
we're
reason we're
enjoying
here is
stuff.
because we like listening to you talk. That's why we're here, man.
Well, I'm talking, and you're pointing out each other's fucking jewelry.
It's not that we're not interested.
We're
We
talking.
love you.
Yeah, we're just fascinated by
but
shiny
we
objects.
were thinking about Carl.
Now
True.
please pick up where you left off,
Okay.
man.
We should go
So
moment of
we're talking
silence.
about David Lee Roth on the plane.
Yeah, David Lee Ralph.
David Lee Ralph.
David Lee
on the
Ralph. Oh, and my
plane.
hair being.
And
That's the
your
other thing, man.
real
Yeah.
hair.
I
Real
was
hair.
so happy to see your hair. And then Chuck, your hairs. Come on. It's
He's got some great hair
fantastic.
going on, man. Yeah, I made a joke once on stage, and I think people actually. I said, "How many of you guys, when I took the hat off, did you expect the hair to come with it?" You know, because I think that there's built-in hair hats.
I
now.
did, dude.
Yes, did you seriously?
I swear to God,
Wow, that's funny.
because again, these bands here, they have a costume thing going on and all that, and also
There's a lot of wiggage.
Well, you're a dude who not only because you're a singer and you're in Rock Sugar and you're
Yeah.
on stage, but I mean, I went to your IMDb page.
Oh,
All right,
thank you.
and first of all, I googled you, Jesse Harnell.
Yeah.
And then I of course jerked off. And then
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's a common reaction.
Why not?
First time Mike's ever jerked off to a guest.
First time he's had a
He's
guest.
never had a
I'm the
guest.
first guest.
That's it.
Exactly. I got to set the
Trend
tone.
here. Trend
The bar has
starting
been set.
Yes.
So I go find your IMDb page,
Yes, sir.
and I figure I'll just print that out so I can have a handy-dandy go-to guide for Jess Harnell and what the things that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
It's still printing. Honestly, I started to print it last night. And it made me so sad because I'm like, why are they even doing my fucking show? I've done 2 television shows and written for like my IMDb page does not even have a D. It's just the Internet Movie base, no data whatsoever.
It's space BASS.
It doesn't even have the print run.
Oh God, dude, that's freaking great, man.
Oh.
But your page is, I mean, there's over 200 entries, and I'm going to, I have to touch on them.
Yeah.
But, well, first, before I get into that,
Sure.
So I find your IMDb page, and I'm like, well, fuck, I got to find Chuck's. I actually Googled Chuck, and my computer shrugged. No offense. Chuck Duran does not exist.
He used to be known as Carl Shaw.
Wait a minute. What were you using? Were you using
man,
like
come on.
Yahoo or Google?
Dude,
I'm on Google.
I literally it said see Jess Harnell. That's
That is my
Googled you.
IMDb. You got it.
He just Harnell, dude. I love this cat.
so.
Oh my God.
That's fantastic.
Sure.
I'm loving this.
So
This is good-
luckily,
this is good PR for me.
I
right?
killed a forest printing out Harnell's, and thankfully the trees were saved by your bio.
Oh God. The ball fell off my headphone
Whatever.
again. I'm
Okay.
fixing that.
This is
All right,
really
keep
good
going,
balls.
dude.
No, it's
Never.
balls.
Come on.
Hey, balls
All
are
right,
falling all
go
over
ahead.
the place.
I wish you guys could see the setup. You know what? Fuck it. We got to film it just to put it up
Yeah,
on
you
YouTube
gotta film
later.
this. Yeah, for sure.
We're sitting. You know what? I'll tell you folks where we are. We're at the art table from episode 2, year 2. Dude, because we usually do this in Lily's bedroom, and
Oh well, sure you do.
and this is the first.
And who
time,
can blame you?
This is the first time she's ever said, "I don't want 3 guys in my bedroom."
Wow.
Is that a record, Lily? Is this is the first, right?
That is actually the first time I've ever said that.
That is crazy.
So we're sitting around a children's art table, all of us. And,
Here we are.
I've
We're
got
making pottery.
9 phones and a wallet.
Color
because
me wine.
Chuck doesn't think he should put his stuff on another table at all. Chuck came in and he said, "What's that? Headphones and a bunch of equipment? I'm going to put a bunch more shit on that table." And really,
Yeah,
plug it up.
what the hell is this? Actually, he's right. Okay, go on, Mike. I'm
All right,
sorry.
I have
There's some room for you though.
Jess, I have your IMDb page.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Not only a singer, a rock sugar, but I mean an amazing career as a voiceover guy.
Thank
you. You've been in both Transformers movies.
Yeah, this is true.
Now, when you do that, the Transformers movies, would we know that that's Jess Harnell, or do you go through like a vocoder or a flange, or they fuck your voice up? How's that work?
No, what's really weird about
I threw in a little tech talk there.
that was very good. That's the technical term.
Sure.
Is that? And no. What's odd about that is I remember when I auditioned for that particular movie. It was one of the strangest auditions that I've ever had, Mike. I mean, it was really, really stupid because they had me go into this room, and there's everybody else is waiting with their scripts and their sides.
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
A lot of voiceover things now are
Yeah.
done via your home studio.
Mhm.
You'll bang it out there. And
Yeah.
so is it Transformers because it's a larger movie, you have to go in and they need to meet you and get a feel for who you are and have you do the voice? Or is it just generally that was just does that audition they wanted to bring you
I think
in?
it's because they like him. I mean, look at him. He's got the hair. You bring him in, and it's a party. They want to have a party and do work.
Things get more lively. No, they for a movie like that, I think that they approach it more like they would an on-camera film, even though it's just voiceover, because it's such an epic thing and it's such a big deal, and we have to see everybody in person. So I got out there and I'm looking at the copy, and it was quickly, clear to me. It's like a 60-foot robot or whatever, so it's obviously going to have this low, menacing voice. And so I basically went to my go-to movie trailer voice, which you've heard a million times, which is, in a world where one man tries to make a difference.
Sure.
It's that kind of thing, And I'm like, well, I'll do that, and I'll just maybe I'll put like a British accent on it to give it kind of a spin, which I actually did in the movie, and I kept it. But when I went in to do the audition, I'm like, okay, where's the mic? And they're in a room just like this room. And there's a guy just like you. Of course, he wasn't just like you, but thank you. But he had
more nipple. Wait a minute, more nipple?
Yeah. Well, see what happens if you're in a band. This is the kind of thing that.
Are you just bored with me when it's just me and you? Because I mean, that would make the show that much better every week if your tits are whipped out.
You don't have guests on your show.
See, now this is a whole new thing for
True.
you. But anyway, so I walked in, and instead of a microphone, which would be the way to do it, because when you're doing a voice, like this, and you're down at the bottom, you really want to work the mic and get close to it, And instead, they had a guy with a camcorder 5 feet away, and I said, okay, so where's the mic? They go, oh, there's no mic. I said, excuse me. They go, we're just going to film you reading. And I said, yeah, but you're not going to get any presence on my voice. You're not going to get anything out of, as far as what I'm doing. They said, oh, no, it'll be fine. So they start filming me from 5 feet away, and I'm going, we must save the city. And I'm like, it's just crap. This is just horrible. And so I left, and 4 months later, I got the call. I got the job.
How come 4 months later?
Seriously. But it's one of those stupid things. It's like sometimes you go into auditions and you just feel like you hit a home run and like it's fantastic. And that one, I was totally lame and stupid. And next thing you know, Michael Bay's going, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, all right. And now I'm a freaking robot.
That's great. And now, as a voiceover guy, would you rather go in and do it live in the studio for them, or would you rather do your disembodied track and just send it off in an email to them?
Oh, well, it's funny you should ask, because as Chuck alluded to
funny,
earlier,
it's fucking hilarious.
I am a dude, it's like this is the funny thing about the whole like talent issue that I always try to keep in very clear perspective, right? I mean, it's like I'm good with my voice.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You're going to keep this in clear perspective with 9-inch ringlet curls.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're the guy who's got some perspective.
Hey, Prince Charles had to come back in one formation or another, man. But from Prince Edward IV or whoever the hell I am. But no, it's like I'm good with my voice. I can do stuff with my voice. I can sing and I can change my voice and I can do impressions, and that's great, right? But everybody's good at something. I'm the least technologically capable person, as he's nodding vigorously. Chuck is nodding. I mean, dude, if you ask me to plug something in, you might want to leave the frickin' house.
You and me both.
Okay, dude, seriously, right?
My wife hooks up everything. TiVo, VCRs, everything.
Oh, yeah, if it was me.
Maybe not VCRs so much.
No, I would still be hooking up the VCR. That's what I'm saying. It would be. I'd still be, forget the DVD and this Blu-ray, and I'd be like, honey, where does this go? So I'm terrible with that stuff. So I had the home studio for a while to send out stuff, and man, it just wasn't working. It was taking me frickin' forever and ever and ever to do it. So I'd always rather go in, and sometimes with cartoons, you're with everybody, and other times you're by yourself. It's every combination you can possibly think of with this stuff.
Right. Now, you say it's funny. You say everybody's good at something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chuck, I saw the YouTube clip. Okay. I saw the YouTube clip where you guys are basically talking about how you came up with Rock Sugar.
Yeah.
And
oh, you saw that?
Well, of course.
You're the guy.
Listen, I did a ton of research. Believe me, my YouTube channel's a fucking ghost town.
I don't need IMDb because I'm in Rock Sugar.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, see?
Statement right
there you go, brother.
Good point.
But go on, Mike. We're going with this.
But how does it feel to be that good at guitar? How does it feel to be able to pick up? I'm being honest. Because they always say comedians want to be actors want to be singers want to just bone everybody. I guess. They're already fucking singers. What could they possibly want?
Nothing. Not at all.
But to be able to pick up, like, I have a friend, my friend Dave, who's done my themes. He did my theme music, and he's
it's cool
stuff.
music. Good job, Dave.
Big fan, yeah. And he, the same thing. I'll be in his house, and he's just sitting there with a guitar, and he'll play Little Wing just to keep his fingers, whatever. Or he'll play Smooth, or off Supernatural, and I'm just like, fuck, I know. I'm amazed to be able that someone can do that, and to see you in that video when you're like, oh, he's just playing the riff for Crazy Train. Go ahead, and you start playing acoustic Crazy Train, which is, again, we all know Crazy Train, huge, Randy Rhoads, big fucking chord in your ears.
Yeah.
But you play it on an acoustic, and it's immediately identifiable. Yeah. Immediately. Yeah. How great is that?
Fantastic.
How long have you been?
It's amazing.
It's fantastic. Thank you for acknowledging how great I am. No, it's what? It's Crazy Train on an acoustic, man. It's like, it's not rocket science. It's really,
Look,
he's-
I gave you.
Yeah,
Hold
you know
on.
what?
I gave you your time to fucking shine.
Yeah, you did. He did. He fucking served you. Oh,
And you
I
just-
cursed.
I liked it.
He served you a plate of love, man, and you sent it
oh.
back. It wasn't good enough for
I
you.
know, but you know what? Here's the thing. It's like I find it hard to kind of like talk that much about myself, and I'd rather talk about you or him.
I see.
You know, because it's like
Or Lily. You'd probably like to
you
talk
know
about
what? It's like when I pick up a guitar, it's like it's not a big deal to me. You know, I don't get that. You know, oh wow, I'm like so great or anything like that. I just do it.
It's funny. I can relate to that because I'm the same way with talking. Because I literally,
You're very good at talking,
I
Mike.
can talk for 2 hours.
And it's entertaining. A lot of my ex-girlfriends could talk for 2 hours. It was not so entertaining, Michael.
How did you hear them?
That's what I'm
Stuff the
saying.
ringlets in your ear. Forget it.
Right?
So I see what you're saying, but although I don't understand that I'm not so great part, because fuck that, I know I'm great, all right? And
You know you're great.
yeah, you have to know that you're great to sit there and be able to
Did
pick
I
up
say
guitar.
that you weren't great?
No,
Oh, 'cause I didn't mean it like that.
You're saying you're not great.
No, I didn't say I wasn't great. I know I'm very good.
Yeah.
But I find it uncomfortable to actually sit there and tell other people that I think I'm very good. If I wasn't good, I wouldn't, you wouldn't be telling me that I'm good, and other
True.
people would say, hey, you know what, you really suck.
But you know what
And then
I-
they'd be telling Jesse, you know what, you should really think about getting another guitar player because that guy can't play Crazy Train on an acoustic guitar. So, and then like this whole thing would just come down. So I'm easy.
In a
He
volcano.
talks for me a lot of the times.
Are
and,
you?
you know, yeah, because
That's
I love
nice.
you, man.
Thank you. I like
This
you a
guy's
lot
great
too,
guy.
man. You're a good guy.
Well, that was evident on the YouTube clips,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah?
like Jess is like all this personality, and Chuck's holding a doll.
Yeah, you know what? The cool thing about Jesse and I, man, is that we're like a cake mix. It's like he's like the flour and I'm like the egg.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like-
the egg.
It's like we just complement each other. No, seriously, we complement each other.
Lily's
in
trying to
little- in
figure out
little
what the
ways.
sexual connotation of
Hold
that
on, I got to get a pen. You
Okay,
are-
okay, he's like
In
the.
this, hold on, stop. In this cake mix again. Hold on now.
In the cake mix of rock
Jesse.
sugar, I would be the, what am I again, the flour?
You're the flour.
and I'm the
This
egg,
is nice.
Man.
I'm the
You
flour.
can't have a cake without flour and
But
egg.
at the same time, I bring the sass.
Chuck
and
is
he
the
brings the sass. He's also the frosting.
Who's the sugar?
I don't know.
all of them.
All of them. Mike Schmidt is the sugar.
Mike's the sugar.
Mike's the
ladies and
sugar. I gotta throw one thing out there real quick before we change topic, and I just want to say this for real. Chuck is not as verbose maybe as I am, but he in addition to being such a great guitar player, he's the cat who really made this stuff happen musically. I mean, I would come to him seriously. A good example is Crazy Girl, what we call Crazy Girl, which is, for those of you who have not heard
Right.
it yet, it's Crazy Train meets Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield. And it's really cool because you never think those two would go together, but I would call him up and go, dude, we got to go dun 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 to Jesse is a friend. And I'm like, that would be great. And he's like, and I go, okay, call me when you got it, right? And he, and literally, and he'd go and he'd put it together. And other times he'd call me up, and my favorite one was he used to send me these bare bones arrangements of these songs that we do, and he'd send me like skeletal arrangements of them that were compiled from the original records. Now, we didn't use anything from the original records on our records.
Real
everything.
quick, how long have you guys been musical partners?
Oh my God, we've been tight since we were little kids, and we've been
Yeah.
working together now since we were like 15 years
I see.
old. So it's been at least 6 years. And anyway, the thing is that he sent me this one thing, and he cobbled together one of Chuck's ideas for the record was to put Voices Carry by Till Tuesday with
Right.
Welcome to the Jungle
Right.
by Guns N' Roses.
Right, which is
It's called-
it's Voices in the Jungle.
Voices in the Jungle, exactly. And it's
It's
one.
so funny because I can't stop listening. Okay,
Oh, thanks,
literally,
Mike.
I burned it so it's in my car and in my
Oh,
house. I listen
good.
to it in the
That's
shower. Again, it's in my car.
That's illegal. I don't like that.
Yeah, like what the hell? You're telling the wrong
You know,
guys.
Come on, dude.
I can't get. I can't
You'll be hearing
We
from our
would've
lawyers.
sent
Do
you
we
another
cheat him and
CD
how?
For the car. You got to have one for the house, one for the car.
But you know what? We brought you some CDs, so now you
did.
got extra.
I don't know why that
No
happened.
burning expenses.
I don't know why that happened.
I
Go on.
I hear, but I enjoyed purchasing it.
Good,
and then-
thank you.
and then
So did we.
Waiting 9 days for it to arrive
And
from
distributing it.
a mile from my house.
Nice.
We
Literally-
ran out, dude. Seriously, that's what happened.
That's what.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
good.
ran out.
Well, good.
We
then that's
did.
good.
We did. We
Yeah.
ran out.
Yeah.
But Voices in the Jungle is one of my favorites. I want to get to the whole album. I'm going to go track by track.
Oh, good.
But,
Oh, good. Better yet.
I'm not fucking around.
All right,
I'm serious.
Dude, I love that about you. Do your homework. So I'll save the story, but Chuck came up with a very funny thing with that.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, Voices in the Jungle. He sends me this thing, and it's starts off with Welcome to the Jungle, and it's just rocking, and he hadn't gotten, like I said, it was from the record, so he hadn't done any of the stuff that he was
Let me
going to
stop
do.
you again in your story.
Go, dude. Go. Come on, man.
I'm the worst host ever.
No, you're excellent. We love you.
This is a question I was going to ask, and
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously you've been around. You were in Loud and Clear.
Mhm.
Is Loud and Clear still an entity? Do you,
And not so much, and I'll explain that more to
It
you.
lives on.
okay,
Yeah.
and because I enjoyed I went and checked out some of the stuff at MySpace.
Thanks, man.
And again, I'm the one, and not nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
All to do with MySpace. MySpace.
Yeah.
You get the fuck off.
Oh, yeah. MySpace has tumbleweeds blown through.
Yeah,
it.
mine
I know.
is. I'm whacking mine too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
anyway, but you've been around. You grew up here in Los Angeles.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, from the time I was 11 and you.
You know what? Fuck this. I don't want to answer. I'll ask it later. Please
Okay.
finish your story.
All right. So what? Wait. Welcome, okay. I'll just make it real quick. So he sends me this thing. Welcome to Voices in the Jungle, which is Welcome to the Jungle Voices, Carrie. And I'm literally lying on my bedroom floor at 4:00 in the morning, opening this email with this attachment, and it's just hysterical because he hadn't. These songs are all timed differently. The originals, they're different tempos, they're different keys, they're all over the place. So he sends me this cobbled together version, and it's going. Oh, in the dark, I'd like to read it. But I'm frightened of the thing. And it's just like, it was so funny, man. It just made me pee my pants.
That's
It was
great.
great.
Well,
Right.
the thing
And that all
is-
came from him,
Yeah, but the thing is that you know how like when you're an artist, whether you're a painter or whatever, you can envision something. If you start
The end result,
you almost
yeah.
can see the big picture. So
Sure.
luckily, I would put things together and I would be like, oh my god, in the right key and at the right tempo, this thing would sound amazing, and re-record it and Jesse's voice on it and my great guitar playing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But this thing would be amazing, and then I would send it to him at 4:00 in the morning because
Yeah.
that's the time that we would do it, and he'd have the vision with me and to be like, oh wow, this is.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he'd be like, dude, are you high or something?
yeah, when you tell me about it
was
initially.
really out there. and
We'll
I'm
get
like,
into that
I
with
don't
the
know,
track by
maybe.
track thing. I'll tell you.
But he saw the vision too, and
Awesome.
and that helped.
Yeah, that's why it
great.
worked out with so
How
well.
long did it? The album is called Reimaginator, and you guys can go to rocksugarband.com and pick up the album Reimaginator.
Yeah, please do.
I know that there's a lot of licensing and clearing issues, and that's why it's not on iTunes. Is that correct?
That's one of the reasons that it's not on iTunes. Basically, we have to pay such a chunk of money, Mike, off the top for every record
Sure.
that we sell to publishers and stuff, and iTunes takes such a big chunk as well that by the time we paid iTunes and them, we'd basically have nothing left.
Yeah,
Right.
we wouldn't
So-
be able to have gas to come here.
Exactly. We wouldn't be able to come see. We'd be begging for money off the side of the freeway and selling oranges and singing songs. But so we
You can do
basically
part of that.
Yeah, that's part of it. At least we get the music in there some way.
I meant
But-
the oranges.
but what we would do is we are developing right now a way to do digital downloads on our website. So if that's the format that you want to get it in, it will be available. I would say in the next couple of weeks or so.
Are you going to sell tracks? Individual
No,
tracks?
the whole album.
Yeah, this is not an album where you need to buy individual tracks. This
You
is
don't.
an album you have to hear
Yeah.
as an entire.
I'm glad to
entity
hear you say that.
because it's a fucking show. I mean, literally. When you listen to it, you will always hear something, and we're going to get into the track by track of it. But whenever I listen to it, I hear things unfold, and I'm going to fucking gush all over you in a second when we go to the tracks.
Thanks, man.
But go to rocksugarband.com, and you can pick up Reimaginator, and you can also check the guys out. I'll throw plugs later, but make sure that you can go. Where did I?
Go to Chuck's IMDb page.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, you don't want your computer to crash. You can go to, I'll tell you what, go to facebook.com/rocksugarband.
Yeah, go-
and then I'll get in more later, and I'll tell you where else to find the band. But let's go track by track. On first of all, I was going to go in the order of the track listings, but tell me the first song that you thought of doing this with and what came together. What was the first one where you went? Because on the YouTube clip, you referenced the Crazy Girl, which is you said, hey, it turned into this. But what is the first one where Chuck went, you know what, this could work, and you agreed, and it looked like it was going to take
I'll
place?
tell you, and I want to throw one last thought in too before we get away from the digital download thing. What Mike said is true, and I really appreciate him saying it. This is not really an album where you buy one or two tracks, and I'm not just saying that because it's money. I'm saying it because it's the truth. Here's the thing: with most records, especially in the iTunes age now, there's always been on any album. These are the 2 or 3 songs. These are the songs everybody wants, right? And the rest of them, you get them because you buy the album. So now with iTunes, everybody's like, I want that song because that's the song I heard on the radio. Well, with this record, every song is the song you've heard on the radio.
And I'm going to get into that because there's some songs where there's 4 tracks,
There's
4 different songs,
yeah.
snippets, and when they
34
sneak
songs
in,
and 13, yeah.
and it is 34. I counted them last night.
That's my
You're
boy.
goddamn, I got them listed. And it's I think I found in the secret 34th.
Yeah,
You're gonna laugh when you know that I know what it is.
Yeah, I do. You do know what I know exactly what you're talking about.
God
You're
damn
right.
it.
You did feel like you're not.
All right.
But the thing is, like I said, so with this album, it's every song you ever loved, but you've never heard them like this before, and that's why you want to get the whole.
And you have to hear them because again, we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Because the end of every song, the last minute, all of them are brilliant. But then the last minute, when it all fucking comes together, it all starts cascading, and you're hearing, a vocal with a different guitar track with
Yeah.
a different vocal on top of it. Jesus fucking Christ! It's awesome. I sat there listening to it, and I stunned again. I'm a guy who ordered it that night, and
I
you
know.
will too when you listen to it.
Oh,
All right.
thanks, Mike.
So, what was the first song that made you guys go, "This is going to work"?
Okay, I'm going to set you up, and then you can take it. Okay. The whole idea for this thing came about because I was tired of rock not being fun. rock music is like, everybody got so dark and heavy about it and
When did
everything.
it stop being fun, Joe?
I don't know, stop being fun. I would say it stopped being fun in probably about '92 with
Shoegazers. Nirvana. You think Kurt Cobain ruined rock and roll? Is that what you're saying,
I'm
Joe?
not saying he ruined rock and roll. He changed it, and it probably needed a change because, to tell you the truth, there were too many poofy-haired bastards in spandex singing the same song.
Yeah.
So I think it was time for an enema, basically.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just sort of annihilated.
If it took Kurt Cobain to get Danger out of work, I'm all for it. That's fine with me.
Well, so that happened, and then a lot of years went by, and I was also fascinated by the fact, I'm like, God, nobody gets paid for being in a band anymore unless you're one of the lottery winners, unless you're Aerosmith or Bon Jovi or something. It's like, God, I know all these guys from bands like that, and they're not getting any money, and I'm thinking, there's got to be a way. There's got to be something people would want to see. Again, there's got to be something that would draw people. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. And I went and I saw Steel Panther, and I love Steel Panther, and I think they're great, and they'd have me get up on stage and sing with them, and they're terrific. And I'm like, this is great. But at the end of the day, you can go listen to these records. And I thought if we were going to try to do something, now, of course, they're doing original material, and they're doing some really funny stuff, and that's great, too. But I thought if we were going to do something, it'd be interesting to see if we can do something clever that hasn't really been done before.
Right, and let me point out, Steel Panther is great.
They're fantastic.
And, their live show's fucking awesome. Yeah. But now they put out an album of original stuff, which is really good as well.
Right.
But it's a joke. I don't mean it,
it's
and
a
I don't mean that in a
comedy
mean
thing.
way.
No,
but
they know that.
They're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
You are not trying to be funny. You are a fucking wow, where people listen to it and go, holy God, I didn't think that would work. And it's cool. It's not making fun of.
No.
And I always make fun of rebooting movies and, and they're reimagining Willy Wonka and all that horse shit.
Yeah.
You
the original Willy Wonka was, leave it alone. Yeah.
But you don't reimagine anything. It's ridiculous and it's a silly term unless you use it in the term of this album, because you truly did reimagine stuff. I when I go, like I said, track by track, but just to say, like, Shook Me Like a Prayer.
Yeah.
All right, you use You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC.
Yeah.
But it has a guitar sound that's not the clear sound that Angus Young would have. It's a growly C.C. DeVille type of sound, so it actually reimagines the riff.
Even that.
For You Shook Me All Night Long.
Thank
so
you.
that's what I'm saying.
Thanks for noticing.
I'll
we,
get to it.
We tried to update and upgrade everything from when it was recorded, because a lot of these songs are 20 years old and stuff like that. But
sounds so right when you do it like that.
Thank you, man. That's the amazing thing. That's the fate and circumstance where we got lucky, But so I'm thinking there's got to be a way to do this, and I thought, and I came up with this basic tagline for a movie. I thought, wouldn't it be funny if an 80s metal band got stuck on an island because they were playing a bat mitzvah on a boat, right? And the boat went down, and all they had to listen to was pop records. And
by the way, that is not funny at all.
I know you don't like the band funny. You don't like the band funny.
I told them that too.
I know you don't like the band funny, but I'm thinking that was the concept that we originally started from. And obviously, we're not living those roles, and that's not what the show is based on or anything like that. But it was just like a funny excuse to give a thread to it. So I thought, I wonder what that would sound like. So I went to him and I said, we could combine songs, man. What if obviously we didn't invent mashups. Mashups been around a long time.
Now, are you still Loud and Clear at this point?
We weren't even really actively doing Loud and Clear. Loud and Clear has a following overseas and
Sure.
Europe and Asia and stuff like that. But we were just like, whatever. I mean, we were making money doing other things, and you got to be realistic about stuff. And it's just like,
hold on, Chuck's decided to put
I'm
his hands
not on
over the microphone.
What are you doing, dude?
But I do have a job.
What are you doing? Yeah,
Respectable
and it's obviously not putting on headphones
No
quietly.
kidding. We know Chuck's not on IMDb because he thinks he handles the microphone with his fingers. What are you doing? Holy God, Duran!
So,
I'm done.
There we go.
I'm done.
So I said, we didn't invent mashups, but we did kind of. I think we were the first band to kind of say, let's take two genres of music and smash them together with a theme. So I came to him and I started saying, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, and I said, go think of something, come back to me. And he came back a week later with the first song, which was "Don't Stop the Sandman," which is the first single and the first song on the album. And why don't you tell him how you came up with that?
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, it's like
that's Journey meets Metallica, by the way, for those who
Journey
don't know.
meets Metallica, and it's like, here's the thing, it's like there's certain songs by certain bands, like even if you're not a Metallica fan, you don't listen to Inner Sandman and say like, oh, what a crappy song.
It's a great song.
It's a great freaking song. It's like no matter
We
whether
love all
you're
these
a rapper or a freaking jazz guy, it's a great song.
I'm a rap and jazz guy. That's
You
my
are a
side
rap and
project.
jazz guy. And same thing with Don't Stop Believing. It's like whether you're a metalhead or freaking classical guy, that is a great song.
Yeah.
Now, I want to I don't want to nuts and bolts it too much, but you said like this is the first idea that you came up with. Who went? Is it because "Don't Stop Believing" was so huge and being played now?
It's America's favorite song.
It really is, and it's come back. Sopranos used it, and Glee has kicked the shit out of it now, and it's at every baseball stadium.
It's
and,
amazing.
2005, the White Sox used it as their fucking World
I know,
Series song.
I know.
So was it you were mindful of the fact that everybody knows that song, and I could marry it to something else everybody knows, or
Why? What did you start with that one? I guess is what he said.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it
I
is
was
in
trying to
English.
explain it.
Oh, really?
rudely interrupted by Mike.
There goes that diva attitude again.
Exactly. But no, this is what I was talking about, Mike. What we got going on here is that I like both of those songs, and for a second there I said, you know what? Wow, wouldn't it be cool to put like the coolest, poppiest song that we grew up listening and loving with like one of the heaviest, grungiest, themiest, darkest riffs that I love, and that a lot of people I guess love too.
Hence Rock and Sugar.
So I sat there and I was working out and I was like, holy crap. This works perfect.
Weren't they in the same key initially? That was one of the few songs that were in the same key?
It's really weird. If you really, really know what you're talking about with music and stuff, you'll know that one is in minor and the other one's in major. But the way that it was structured, it shifts from major to minor very, very smoothly.
Ground control to minor tone.
So I did it and I put it together, and then all of a sudden, he listened to it and he was like, holy crap, this is great. Yeah. And that set the basis for the entire
everything.
record.
And then you said, you know
much.
what, this works.
Yeah,
we can make it work.
Then I got excited.
And then you started to, did you start to list songs? Like, because my friend, again, David used to play in a band, like in a bar, like a bar band.
Sure.
And he loved to do it. He did it to stay busy, but he also did his own studio stuff at home. And he would wind up, they'd be bored out of their mind practicing, so they'd do Free Fall in his Elvis.
Oh, that's fun.
And then he'd like throw in the line, instead of loves it,
Free falling.
Yeah,
Free falling.
Crazy about me instead of like crazy about Elvis. Or he'd sing like Little Wing is Christopher Walken. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's a great idea. It's fun. Let's do that next. Go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. Is it that kind of? So I'm just fascinated by the process that you came up with. Then so you sat down then and went, let's find all the songs that work together. And there was a chord thing, or how did it?
Well, no. I mean, because a lot of the songs, most of the songs are in different keys, different tempos, all that stuff. So you have to literally sit down with an instrument and rework the keys so that.
Good thing you play one then.
Some songs, exactly right.
Because it would have been hard, and very well. It would have been hard.
So there were songs that we really wanted to hear together that just didn't really work.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Did I say that?
Yeah, that was your turn.
That was you. That was Jesse Harnell.
Okay, there you go.
Well,
he's dropping more crap, Mike.
And so, but what we did was we took all these great riffs and classic rock songs.
I made a list.
I understand there's 34 of them.
There's 34.
Made a list. There were hundreds of them.
I did that. I'm big on lists.
And same thing with the pop stuff. There were hundreds and hundreds of them. And so it was basically like putting a puzzle together. Well, okay, we love this. Did it work? No. Okay, we love this. Would it work? No. Okay, you know what I mean? And finally, these work. And then process of elimination, and that's how we came up with.
Yeah, we've already got a bunch of new ones for the next record too, which is fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right, we'll get to that. But let's stick with Reimaginator because I'm still whacking off into this. So we got Jess and Chuck. Who else is in Rock Sugar?
We've got a guy named Johnny Five on bass guitar, and Five is not he wanted to be Nicky Six, but that wasn't available, so he became Johnny Five.
Wow,
great.
Yes.
Hey, come on, I'm here all week, folks. If you're driving, use a car. So Johnny's playing bass and singing backup, and on drums we have Alex Track, and he's also singing backups, and vocals are a big part of the band.
Are they hired guns, or are they also Loud and Clear guys?
Alex was in Loud and Clear with us, and Johnny we sort of stumbled upon. Literally, he was lying in a gutter outside the studio, and it was had indigestion, and we stumbled upon him and put him in the band.
Is he the hospital guy? I heard
yeah, he's the hospital guy.
Yeah.
No, Johnny's really great because he's really sincere, and he constantly thinks he's sick.
Really?
So he's like, dude, I think I'm really sick this time, man. And that's exactly how he talks. I'm like, seriously? And then sometimes I'll mess with him, and I look at him in the eye, and I'll go, you don't look well. And I'm like, I knew it, man. I got to go. So it's like, I'm like, you're fine. He goes, really, man? Okay, I feel better now. So
he's just a
everybody is invested, and everybody's a part of the band, but the thing kind of originated with me and Chuck, and we did most of the legwork initially. But when you come see us live, everybody definitely does their part.
Yes.
So we talked about track 1 on Reimaginator, which is Don't Stop the Sandman, which uses Don't Stop Believin' by Journey.
Yes.
And Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Yes.
And the thing is, the reason it's so brilliant to put it as it's the first single I heard, but also even if it was the first song on the album and all you heard was the album, it catches you immediately and immediately tells you what everything is going to be.
I couldn't agree more.
It demonstrates exactly what you're in for.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it also doesn't give you too much because it's the 2 songs.
Right.
Later on is when you start using 4 songs and things like that.
Yeah.
And the Steve Perry register, well, you're right there.
Oh,
dude.
thank you, man.
Is it something that's natural for you? I mean, you're obviously a natural mimic, and you can do all these different voices.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself singing as Jess and then being in Steve Perry's neighborhood, or are you trying consciously to sound like Steve Perry?
Let me answer that for him.
Go ahead. You want to do that, dude?
No,
all right,
I'm
you're more than welcome to. No, you know what's really great, man, is it's like Chuck actually said to me at one point, and it's true. He goes, dude, you know why this is so great? He goes, this is the right vehicle for you. For me personally, and I said, you know what, you're right, because with my background doing studio work as a session singer and also a voiceover actor, but when I did session work as a singer, they used to hire me all the time to do singing impressions.
Now, I heard
Right.
that you initially got noticed by doing "We Are the World"
Yeah.
and actually doing every voice
I did everybody
on the track.
Yeah, and that's how I started working because
You even did Dan Aykroyd?
No,
okay.
you're Dan Aykroyd. That's
Aykroyd,
right.
was
He
he
was
in it?
there, dude.
No,
he
did
was
he
in the
sing?
back
Yeah,
row
he's
wearing a
there.
tie.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, that's good. You know that, man. God, props to you, bro.
Very
But
good.
no, I just did that, and I thought, well, even if this sucks, people are going to notice it because it's interesting and it's funny, you know.
Sure.
So, in answer to your question, I think that it's the right vehicle for me because I can manipulate my voice, and it was a fine line that we walked because I'm like, well, I don't want us to become Vegas. I mean, we're going to be playing Vegas, which is going to be great. Yeah. But I don't want to be the singing impressionist band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's this guy and he does impressions and he puts on a wig and he's Axl and he puts on a wig and he does that.
Right,
You know?
that's what I'm saying. It's Spasmatics and those types of bands,
Right.
but you're so
Yeah.
different. You're different from that because you're a band that's literally, I hate to say it again, folks, reimagining these songs.
Yeah, in a
and,
new way.
And I'm a 42-year-old guy. How old are you, Jess? You want to tell me or no?
45.
Okay, you're 45, and Chuck, you're what?
16
Oh, okay, well,
plus, give or take.
Give or
a
take
few
30
years.
300
Sure.
months.
So, but I mean, it's wheelhouse for us because these are the songs we grew up listening to and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you grew up here, so you were probably around the strip.
Sure, but the fascinating thing, Mike, is I swear to you, dude, it's like, you know, when you go to like Hollywood trendy clubs and stuff, which I try to avoid, but once in a while I get dragged, they play in between the Lil Wayne and between the Beyonce, they play You Shook Me All Night Long, and these 20-year-olds are up on their feet losing their mind. And I'm noticing this and going,
Yeah.
And then they're playing Don't Stop Believing, I'm going, And I'm thinking, there's a market. And most of our
Yeah,
fans...
white people.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, white people are your market.
Yeah, white
Any
people.
white
Okay,
people.
well,
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't
whatever.
matter how old they
Yeah,
are, as long as they're white.
Anybody who
they're
shows
gonna
up,
love our
it's,
shit.
it's all good.
I'm not kidding. I used to work as a DJ in bars.
So, you know.
And we would play, you'd play hardcore dance stuff, and then people would want to hear Pour Some Sugar on Me.
There you go.
White, and literally, the dance floor would just fill
Fill
with
up.
this sea of vanilla. I mean, it would be crazy white
Exactly
people.
right, exactly
So
right.
this is
White
white.
chocolate, man.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
got to
it
pull
is.
some
White
sugar
chocolate,
on me,
yeah.
baby.
So I was like, so I was like, with the singing stuff, I'm like, well, do I want to? What I want to do is, I mean, I think it's cool that I can do contrasting things, like doing like the metallic kind of on the real guttural kind of singing,
Right.
and then do the whoa, kind of stuff too, right? And
Don't. I'm gonna get fucking crazy goosebumps.
Mike's
Oh,
getting
look, thank you.
goosebumps. He's gonna
Thanks,
whack
Lily.
off again.
But I mean, in between, it's like it's nice to have that contrast. And one of the great compliments that I've gotten is that sometimes when people talk crap about the band, they'll go, obviously they're sampling. Obviously that they're using tracks from the other singers, and there's no way that voice is coming out of one guy. And I'm like, yeah, well, come see us.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, hold on a second. Who's talking crap about the band? I mean, you've been around 2 weeks. Give me a fucking break.
No, very few people. Our ratio is really, really great, man.
It should be.
It is really great.
And it's we're really lucky with that too. But once in a while, inevitably, people are going to say, I don't like this or I don't like that. And what I think is interesting is whenever we do see the odd negative comment, two things happen. My first thought is, please God, don't anybody respond to this guy because that's what he wants.
Yeah.
And then 9 people respond, and then it becomes a conversation that goes on for 3 days with, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. And then and it's like, just don't. Just,
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah,
dude.
welcome. Thank you
Seriously,
very much, man.
Don't
That's the only
fight.
thing we hate about the internet.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so. Isn't it weird?
People have comments.
I'm the same way. My show is exclusively on the internet. You guys are becoming viral, so you owe a lot to the internet
We
for your
sure do.
success.
Yeah.
But at the same fucking time, you've got ghosts out there who are just nipping at your fucking heels and want to brawl with you, and you're like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
If you don't dig it, man, go watch something
Yeah.
you like.
What is wrong with going and finding the things that you like?
Yeah.
I completely agree
And
with
can you
that.
imagine having the time, dude? Can you imagine having the time to actively hate something and write letters about? It's like don't go. God, I don't have letters to write shit about things I like.
Yeah.
I cursed again. That's
Yeah.
2.
It's okay. It's only shit.
Yeah, but that's 3. But I don't have time to do that, so I don't understand.
Sure.
Anyway, so it was a fine line, and I appreciate the Steve Perry thing, and he's a great hero of mine, so I take that as a great compliment.
Well, then what we're going to do right now is we're going to stop down and we're going to play "Don't Stop the Sandman."
Oh,
first
cool.
single, first
Woo.
track, and I got
On
to
the
tell you,
40-year-old boy.
it will be on the 40-year-old boy podcast.
Wow.
And I sell these later. Can I keep your music in, or are you going to want to cut of that? How's that going to?
You got to talk to their attorneys. We don't know anything about it.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, we'll have to whack it. I don't want to be paying the royalties you're paying. All right. So this is the first single from Reimaginator, also the first track on the album. Don't Stop the Sandman, Rock Sugar, and we're going to come back and I'm going to bore these guys to tears with more fanboy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took a midnight train going anywhere.
the Sandman,
Ever.
ladies and gentlemen.
Ever. He's
stop
unstoppable. That
little guy.
frickin' Sandman. That Sandman can't be stopped.
You know what? Don't even try it.
Forget about it.
Because he'll hurt you. He's
I
a
hear you.
bad man.
I've got it. Rock Sugar in the house here at the 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast.
That's right.
Mike Schmidt, I'm your friend and host, and Lily Von Stupp, of course, producer and filming it today. I don't know if it's going to wind up anywhere.
I forgot.
No, you don't have to film it now. I'm
Hey,
just
you got
saying.
plenty.
She's been filming. Yeah, please.
Relax.
Christ. You got, how much footage do you have? Nobody watches any of our YouTube clips. We already pointed that out. There you go. I put up clips last year, and I will tell you, by the way, somebody needs to. Are you doing those? Is Chuck your tech guy for that too?
No,
for
for the YouTube clips, no.
All right, yeah, because someone left the word rolling in one. You need to cut that out.
Yeah, I was saying we've noticed stuff like that.
Yeah, we actually planned.
It just goes to show that we're
insulting our humor.
That was our artistic credibility right there, man.
Mike,
you're reimagining.
We don't
the
insult
YouTube.
the way you edit your show.
All right.
So
yeah, because I actually edit my show.
No, but I saw that too.
I don't leave rolling in.
We heard a couple of things that could have been, deleted, but we're not going to write about
You
it.
didn't hear him tell me not to suck on this one, dude. Don't suck on this next one. All right, man.
Right.
Then we cut that out.
No, but the funny thing is that we do those in a take.
At my house.
Just like you do.
That's what I did.
We just
that's
go
it.
in and we do it and put it up. So, we're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah, I agree. So a second track on
Yes, sir.
Reimaginator I want to get to is it's We Will Kickstart Your Rhapsody.
Yeah.
First of all, we need to work on the titles, fellas. I mean, I understand you want to make sure everybody knows what they're getting, but it's so cool if they are able to discover what it's going to be. So maybe you think about that for the second.
All right, well, we'll take that into consideration. Thanks,
Sure.
Mike. We'll be in touch.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What would
you can do
have
it.
called that one?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I would have to think about it.
Get back to us.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I would have called it Kickstart Your Heart / Bohemian Rhapsody. Now,
Yeah,
that seems long.
yeah, exactly.
That seems very
But
long.
you're forgetting, We Will Rock You is in there, too.
I'm getting to that.
All right, well, yeah, okay. Sorry,
And not only is We Will Rock You in there. All right, so in We Will Kickstart Your Rhapsody, it is Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue, along with Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen and We Will Rock You by Queen.
Yes.
And the cool thing of it is it's reimagined, but also at the same time, if you know Queen, the We Will Rock You is the fast version from Live Killers.
Yep, it's similar to that.
Yeah. So it's like when you hear it, you're like, oh, okay. Because I mean, I heard it first, and I'm like, dude, that's all right. So then, of course, I have to go run back to Live Killers and listen to it.
Great album.
Fantastic. Because the part with the he does the little opera thing just before. Oh, dude, fantastic.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, Queen Live Killers, huge album. So and you, dude, Vince Neil, the Vince Neil.
Oh, thanks, man.
Again, how much work is that for you to sound like Vince?
It was one of those things. It's like
she had to go to a coach to learn.
No, that's just like capturing the essence again. It's like people are used to hearing this like this, so I want to make it similar to that. And it's just like just like trying to learn any other impression. You kind of go, well, what are the characteristics that I can hang something on right there, and you figured it out. But
the great thing of it is because Vince Neil can't even do Vince Neil anymore. That's
Well, the funny thing is how he learned. The funny thing is how he learned how to do Vince Neil.
All right, tell him,
Because
dude.
we were watching this show one
Oh,
time.
yeah, that's right.
This rock concert thing, and then
And
all
you're
of a
in
sudden,
Moscow.
Motley's backstage, and Vince is warming up.
Yeah.
He's going, "Mama."
yeah, that's what he's like,
Right? And so he started doing it, and I'm like, dude, that
Like
sounds
that.
exactly like him. So when we were doing the record,
That's what I did.
we're like, just imitate that.
Yeah, because I do vocal warm-ups before shows and stuff like that, and we were watching Vince, and it's a true fact, man. God bless him, but he's backstage going, "Mama, mama," and I'm like, well, okay, that's how you do that.
That's it.
and that's more cogent than anything he says on stage.
Yeah.
If you ever listen, we'll listen to those live albums of him, and
Yeah, I
he's
loved
like,
it.
You're not honey, huh? It sounds like he's
pretty
caught in a
good.
fucking bear trap.
That was pretty good, dude.
That's good.
You're coming in on the next one. That was
Yeah.
good. But you know what's funny? I will say this. Interestingly enough, you're one of the first people that put the Live Killers thing in there. Chucky doesn't even know what you're talking about right now because he doesn't know the Live Killers record. This is not an insult.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And in fact, he didn't mean to do that, but I caught the reference, and you're absolutely right. What's interesting is that even though it sounds like that, I'm actually singing the We Will Rock You stuff. The buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. I'm singing that over Kickstart My Heart.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it happens to also be in
It
the same
meshes
realm.
perfectly.
I knew that. There's a fast version of We Will Rock You. This is probably news to you. That's on a live album, and it's really, really cool, man.
Yeah,
So I'll play it for you.
they
It's
did it on
great.
a couple live albums, and also the Live at the Bowl. It was
On
Queen
Fire at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know. I thought I wrote that song.
Yeah, you also think you're Freddie Mercury, dude. I got bad news for you.
You know, this sucks. This show is really bumming me out right now.
I heart you.
Oh,
look,
thank you,
she
Lily.
sure does, dude. Again.
Lily
Look, Mike.
she keeps pulling out her tits, and again, I have nothing but laptop in front of it. So I look over, I just see her lean over, and boom, and I don't get to see
But
any
you've
tits.
known her for a
There's
long
no
time.
tit. There's no tits
been
for
her
you.
you've known her for a long time.
That's just the way it goes.
Our next song is Crazy Girl. Which
Yeah,
of
now
course
see,
we,
you can't figure that out from the title, right? What's that?
we talked about that. It's Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne,
Yep.
and Jesse's Girl, Rick Springfield.
Yep.
And Rick Springfield, fucking wheelhouse for me, dude.
Yeah,
I
great
am
stuff.
like,
He's a
he
great
is,
writer, man.
since I was a kid, and it's so funny. I had a guy, one of the listeners sent me, South Philly Paul is a listener, and he sent me the sheet music for
Hi,
Jesse's
Paul.
Girl.
Oh,
Hi,
cool.
Paul. And he
Hi,
said,
Paul.
because I
Hey,
love
Paul,
him.
it's John. Where's my money? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, we doing a little wacko there?
Oh, no, Wacko's a smaller version of that. But
We'll get back to that later.
No, we want. You know what? Let's talk about that now because you did it.
Uh-oh.
I did it.
You've done the voices you've done. You were Wacko on the Animaniacs.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Indeed, yeah.
And then you've been Darth Maul in a video game.
Yeah. And a few of them actually in the Star Wars stuff. I did Darth Maul.
Dude, you're the Val Kilmer of voiceover.
Well, I'm just glad to be the
Pitt.
Val Kilmer of something.
Here's why: because Val Kilmer has played on screen. He's been Elvis.
Yeah.
He's been Batman. He's been Billy the Kid. He's been Doc Holliday. He's
I
been
know.
Moses, John Holmes. He's been Jim Morrison.
I know, God. Well, that's true. I never really thought of it like that. Wow.
Voiceover work. You have been Santa,
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You've been Darth Maul.
Yeah.
You've been Wacko, which
Yeah.
is John Lennon essentially.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Elvis
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
That's where you and Kilmer mesh.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
You've done and you did Sonny Bono.
Yeah, I did Sonny Bono.
You sang as Sonny Bono on was it a television movie where you actually played you were Sonny Bono?
Yeah, no, dude,
This
I
is
didn't
why
play.
I don't have an IMDb.
I didn't play him. They had a good actor. I believe his name was Jay Underwood playing Sonny Bono. I think it would be a stretch for people to think I was Sonny Bono. But that was one of the only sessions, Mike, that I ever did. And again, with all respect, where they're like, "You got to sing it worse, man. You got to sing it
Wow.
worse." You know, because I mean, Sonny, you know, there's a lot of things, but a great singer, maybe not so
Sure.
much. So it's like they say we're young and we don't know. It's like that. So we'll find out. It's kind of like Bob Dylan, really.
Yeah, very much like
Yeah, yeah. This and this. They say we're young and we don't know.
Now that sounds like Vince Neil.
I know. Mama. See,
Neil with a cold.
we'll just start whipping out all these catchphrases, man. But yeah. So yeah, Animaniacs came out because I always used to do the four Beatles. And I began with the character Wacko started as a miniature John Lennon. That's kind of because obviously, you know, if I'm talking like this, it sounds like a man, and Wacko was this tiny little fellow. So I had to make his voice smaller and more little, you know. So I made him littler, really.
And that's you. That's
Yeah.
a choice you make, and
Yeah.
then they go, "Fuck yeah, that's it."
Yeah, they liked it. Apparently,
That's what Steven Spielberg said. He said, "Fuck yeah, that's it."
I wasn't there at the time, but it may be something like that. And but he heard a lot of auditions, and I do know that I was in the top 10 to get that part or something like that. And that as soon as that came on, he went, "That's it." You know, like 3 or 4 words into it, he said, "Yeah, that's it."
That's great.
And I just think he liked the fact that nobody else was demented enough to think of doing it as one of the Beatles. You know?
I did come up with the hello nurse part.
Oh, you did? Was that
did
you?
you?
Love it.
Yeah,
I came up with
yeah,
that,
nobody
you know.
knows about that, but yeah,
Okay,
that was Chuck.
exactly.
I'm sure that's news to Spielberg too,
Spielberg
actually.
doesn't know it either.
All right.
So Crazy Girl, man, Springfield is so wheelhouse for me. And
I love it.
The guy when he sent me the sheet music, he actually wrote, "Hey, I know you've copped to sort of liking him," and I'm like, "No, I didn't cop to anything. I fucking love Rick
Yeah,
Springfield."
yeah, great, yeah.
The Tao album, I've seen him live 3 times.
There's a great new album by him, by the way, if you don't have it. already.
The ballad one.
No, it's a new one. I forget what it's called. Oh man, if you Google it, his new album, there's a song called "What's Victoria's Secret."
I have it.
Best-
Alive.
I have that album.
Great album.
The last album. Okay,
Great
I thought
album.
you meant there was a new one.
No,
Dude,
no,
come
no.
on, I'm up on.
Oh no, come
Dude,
on.
I have the fucking Sahara Snow album.
Yeah,
I have, like,
me
all
too.
the- oh, dude.
See?
Ravian.
Come
Oh,
on.
dude.
See?
God damn, Rick's
See?
the man.
We have the same stuff.
And that's amazing. So the second I heard that, literally, I'm listening in the middle of the night to the album, and the third track I hear is Crazy Girl. I just start laughing. I
Right.
just start laughing.
Well, that's
'cause I'm so happy.
And that's the thing. You know, and I love that I love that you said that. And honestly, at the risk of sounding maudlin, that's what the purpose of the band is. We want people to be happy, okay? And it's like with Crazy Girl, that particular song. First of all, when Chuck told me we were going to do the Queen thing with Motley Crue, I said, "You're insane. That's great.
did.
You know,
That's one of
that's
the ones
nuts."
where he said
I
that
said,
you're
I said,
absolutely
first
out
of
of
all,
your
I said, Queen's not really a pop band. We're kind of blurring the line, whatever. We said we make our own rules. Who cares? We're going to do this.
We're going to get to that later.
Right, exactly. But Crazy Girl came about because 2 things, man. I know it's like I'm good as a front man or whatever because I pretty much know what audiences are going to dig and what they're going to respond to, right? And I know that when the riff to Crazy Train starts, that place is up on its feet, okay?
Yeah.
And I also know that as soon as every girl in the place hears Jesse is a friend over the top of that, they're going to start screaming.
Sure.
So it's like this is a can't miss
Yeah.
thing. So that's one of the ones literally where I came to him and I said we have to do that.
Done.
And fortunately
And I
that
was like,
worked.
Really?
Nah, you like that one, man.
No, I did.
He didn't want to have
I
anything to do
loved
with stuff like Love Shack, which
yeah,
was
there
better
were
off.
some things where there were some things where I you know.
You know what? Okay, but good on you, because I mean, Love Shack is a joke song anyway.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
so the second you put that in, now all of a sudden you're a drunk frat sing along, and everybody wants to go blister in the sun. I mean, it's like fuck that,
dude. You're right, and you know what's funny, and I'm glad you made me think of it. Again, it's like you said something about earlier. You know, is this funny? People have asked us all the time, is this funny? Here's my hope, and actually, I think it's been achieved pretty well so far. Is sometimes we get the absurdity, dude. We get that it's crazy to put AC/DC and Madonna in the same song. I mean, that's nuts. But hopefully what happens is 30, 45 seconds in, you laugh and you go, oh, my God, I can't believe they're doing that. And then a minute later, you're like, they're doing it really well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You might laugh and be happy, and then you just got to go, holy shit. And I'm going to get to that. There's a song there's holy shit moments all over this album.
Oh, good. Thanks, man. Thanks, buddy.
But and the next song is Voices. All right, so it's
Voices in the Jungle.
That's the one I can't stop. In my car, it's the first song to play.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hop to track 4 and I play that because
It gets you going.
Illegally made a copy of our CD. That one first.
Well, we're gonna give him a new one. Yeah, you see,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Now you're
That's
pissing
right.
Lily off, dude. So
No,
you
Lily
settle
loves
down.
me.
All right.
no more areola for you, dude.
All right.
I
See.
think I've loved you, actually.
See?
We need to talk after this.
Yeah. See, maybe you guys had a thing.
But that is the song that I can't stop playing.
Right.
Because, you know why? Because voice, you keep the sinister of Voices Carry, the vocal, and it works well with the sinister of Welcome to the Jungle.
Exactly right.
And-
I'm glad you caught that too, because you're right.
Dude. The Axl, when you say, I want to hear you scream, you're right in the wheelhouse on the voice.
Thanks, man.
And then you go air raid siren on the end with the Welcome to the Jungle, just the Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
And again, the end of the song is where everything comes together.
Yeah, it's
because
nuts.
everything is in the beginning, it's all blending and working, but then at the end,
Sweet Child of Mine's going too.
Oh, dude. Well, we're getting
Sorry.
but that's sneaky. All right, if you want to get to that, that's in Praying for a Sweet Weekend.
Yeah, we put it twice.
And it's
yeah.
out of nowhere. Sweet Child comes sneaking in, and it's dude, it's so great.
Thanks,
so,
man. Well, the funny thing is with the Axl too, and I can teach you and your listeners a very valuable lesson as far as like imitating Axl Rose is real easy, because all you got to do is bend the end of your words, right? Because like when I was singing it at first, he's like, dude, it's way too Axl. It sounds like you're being an Axl tribute band. You got to cut that. So I said, okay. So on the ends of words, all I did is like ask me a question. Say, how do you feel, Axl?
Hey, how you doing, Axl?
I feel fine. Okay, right? Say, what time is it?
What time is it, Axl?
8:45. Okay, it's like if you just take the ends of words. So I'm singing it, I'm going, tell me something she's thinking of to turn her away, and it's like there you go, right?
Yeah.
And it's like well there it is. It's like that wasn't the right lyric, but you get the point. It's like just doing those little things. It's like capturing the essence, man, and throwing it in the jar, and then everybody's happy.
And the voices. Are you tracking yourself and doing the harmonies on these songs?
No, I'm going to tell you, man. That is me at the end doing the Welcome to the Jungle thing. Chuck's doing it live, but that's my voice.
But on
doing
the
that.
hush hush, the Jesus Christ.
No, dude. You know what? That's why we're one of the reasons that I'm really lucky to be working with the guys I'm working with is because everybody sings great, and we could sit here if the other guys were here and singing Bohemian Rhapsody in your living room.
Yeah, thanks for bringing them.
Dude,
I cannot
call you.
tell you how disappointed I was when I found out we weren't.
Oh, really? Because I didn't know we had enough headphones.
We didn't probably.
Plus, there's no room
They
at the
told us
table.
we only have
Mike, where are they
enough
going to
headphones for
sit,
two.
dude?
Well, there was a possibility of going to your studio. I was so
yeah.
excited. Dude,
our studio's nice. We could have done. We'll do an acoustic thing for you sometime.
I was really excited. So and then when I heard, because my email's been out, so she's forwarding me things.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you were coming until Monday night.
Right.
At 3 a.m.
Well, perfect.
And she said
That's when we actually did come, but nobody was here.
So yeah, and then I found out that, and it's like, oh, we're just coming, and we probably won't do the acoustic thing. And I'm just like,
oh,
dude.
I know. And it's like we were thinking of those 2-part harmony stuff we could do, but there's really nothing.
I wanted to come and do it, man. But
Well, I can
said
go
no.
low. What do we need to do? Where are we?
We'll work.
I'll go bottom end.
We'll work something out. But no, it's like the harmony stuff. I did not. I think there might be 2 little things on this record that I'm singing in the background, and everything else is the guys.
So
primarily Chuck. Chuck arranged most of that stuff. He's got a great ear, and he picked the parts and he stacked everything, and it's really impressive. The harmony stuff is amazing.
Well, speaking of a great ear, let's get to we're on
We
Here
don't
Comes
have
the
any song
Fool.
called anything with an ear.
We're on Here Comes the Fool You Want.
Here
I
comes
know
the
you
fool
got
you
that
wanted.
Here
I
Comes
like
the
that
Ear
one.
part.
Yeah.
All right, Here Comes the Fool You Wanted has 4 songs. It's got Here Comes the Rain Again, Eurythmics.
Yep.
It's got Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. That's the open.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you bring in Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics just to throw it in at the end vocally. But, dude, and this is where Chuck Duran shines.
See that? Here you go again.
The opening of the song is Wanted Dead or Alive. So you
Yes.
guys are all familiar with that. And it's got the little, the very clean picking guitar. The
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. And then it plays about 45 seconds. And right at the 50-second mark, when he kicks in with the vocal, it goes into Nobody's Fool by Cinderella.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And
Very
it is
good.
so
It does?
seamless.
Yeah.
Isn't
that cool?
But it's not even, because again, it could overlap. You could do all that, but it's seamless. It goes right from the picking of Wanted Dead or Alive into the Nobody's Fool. And
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't explain. I have goosebumps now talking about it.
Yeah.
Because the transition on it. How does that happen, Chuck? How do you just go, this matches done? Because then Nobody's Fool. I will tell you this. Nobody's Fool plays as it's the bed throughout the rest of the song. It's
there's a lot.
And unfortunately the riff's escaping me, but it's the bottom, and then at the end is when you finally do the vocal of Nobody's Fool.
Yeah, we start
Nobody's.
throwing that in,
But
yeah.
so it's insinuated. It's just, if you know the song,
if you know it, you'll catch it.
if you know it, you know it, because it's the basis of the song. And
Yeah.
until the end, when the overt Nobody's Fool, I can't explain to you how perfect it is when it goes. Buy the album, buy Reimaginator over at rocksugarband.com.
rocksugarband.com.
When you hear that guitar, so Chuck, huge, man. And how does that happen?
Yeah.
That was basically an accident because I didn't even know what you're talking about.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
thought I fucking wrote that. I keep writing shit that everybody
He also
already
wrote. He thought he wrote "Hey Jude."
Totally. No, man. I mean, it's like that's our favorite Cinderella song, and the drummer of Cinderella is a
He's a great friend of ours. Yeah.
ours,
So we
Fred
thought it'd be
Corey.
nice to. put
And
something
we're
in
like,
there.
we got to do a Cinderella song, and he said you probably shouldn't, but we.
Well, you know what?
We did.
I wanted to ask this. Fred Corey's a friend of yours.
Yeah, great friend.
Have you heard from these? Because again, you grew up on the Strip and you know all these guys. Have you heard from anybody? I mean, is fucking. I mean, granted, I'm sure some fucking. First of all, how many times is Mike Tramp calling you, telling you, please do my song? I mean, all these other fans, they want you to unearth them and bring them back. It's like, hi, this is Mark Slaughter. Could you possibly do anything with Up All Night?
He's my great friend too, and we might do that on the
That's
next
very
one.
funny, man.
But no, you know, man, that's really funny that you say that.
They're like, pump some life into my fucking career. I'm Mike Tramp. I'm actually touring with like Mike Tramp's White Lion. I've had to rename the band with my name in the title.
Oh God, Mike Tramp. No, we well, let's see. The best way to answer that, Freddie obviously really loves the record and has been a champion of it since the beginning, and we're now in the process of getting it into the hands of the various bands. So I anticipate a lot more. I can say just obviously this is going out, so it's not completely off the record. There was one instance where somebody, and there's no way I'm going to say it. But there was one instance where where an artist was convinced it was. Yeah, see, look, she's trying to tempt me in every way she can.
Yeah, we don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, but somebody thought that we had sampled somebody's voice, and we didn't do that.
That's all. Because that's straight Jesse Harnell, ladies.
Yeah,
and gentlemen.
thank you very much. That's very true. And but no, so far the early reports are that everybody's digging it, and we're gonna have more and more of those in the next couple.
Good.
Like in the next month, I think.
Those
we'll
early
have more.
reports are all coming from one bus because all of these bands are together on those package tours. It's not like anybody's out headlining their own deal now. So literally, Don Dokken leans over and taps Graham Bonnet on the shoulder as they're watching videos.
Graham Bonnet!
And he's like, "Hey, did you hear this?"
No, you know what I love though, dude, is that is that one of my biggest hopes, and I frankly I knew this thing was going to take off. I didn't know it was going to take off as fast as it is and as good as it is and everything that's going on with it. But one of my biggest hopes when we're making the record is because I'm such a fan, as you are, obviously, Mike.
Sure.
Because I think we're both kind of lexicons of this stuff. I think that is the hope that we will hear a lot of positive feedback from these people, because more than anything we're just trying to honor what they did.
Right.
Just do it in a
Well,
new,
you do.
in a
You
new
really
way.
do.
Yeah, which
and
is
they
real
ought to be,
respectful,
because again, you don't monkey with it.
No.
You know what I mean? You're true to them. You just bring them back to life. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I can't love it enough.
Shine a new light on them.
Next song is "Shook Me Like a Prayer,"
Yeah.
which also I can't stop listening. Literally, we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my car, and
cool,
then 9
man.
as well. "Shook Me Like a Prayer" uses "You Shook Me All Night Long" AC/DC, and I did mention that it's got that like C.C. DeVille kind of growly guitar in the beginning, so it even reimagines the riff of
a
"You
little
Shook Me All
bit,
Night Long," with "Like a Prayer" by Madonna.
Yeah.
Which is such a great song.
Yeah, it is a great song.
That's
man.
another thing. It's
You're
like
right.
People who that's one of the problems with metal and quote unquote metal. Everybody would be like, "Oh, pop, that
dividing
sucks.
line.
Madonna
Yeah.
sucks. You got to love this or you got to hate that."
Nah,
Bullshit.
crap.
It's all
Totally.
great. And
If it's
"Like
great,
a
it's great.
Prayer" is a great song.
man.
And the vocal line of it is so money for your voice when
Thanks,
you go in
man.
and sing it. It's so perfect.
Thanks,
and there's a breakdown
Yeah, dude, I love this.
in the middle of the song, and it's a musical breakdown, and there's just a bell. All there is a bell, so that's Hell's Bells.
Yeah.
Okay? But there's a drum break, and that's Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi, isn't it?
Oh, there is like the Bad Medicine tip.
Oh, dude, I'm mad. I thought I
I
discovered that because it goes do. I thought for sure that was the 34th, like the hidden deal.
No, I can see why you would think that. No,
damn it.
that might have been accidental, and if it is, it's just a
So you
drum
are
thing.
missing one.
But yeah, we'll
I
get
can't
to,
wait.
We'll,
All right.
we'll tell you what it is. You don't know what it is, but
All
you'll
right.
find out. This surprise one. But no, Hell's Bells, man. Actually, because that's the way it goes. Down, 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 down.
Right, but
So-
it also has like a. I thought it was because I thought it was both
hear
of them.
what
I can
saying,
see
yeah.
why your love
Yeah,
is like
no,
this.
yeah.
It's similar to
I
that.
thought it was married together. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, damn it.
Now they're divorced.
Well, good. Well, that's good. Well,
Well, we want
it didn't
everybody
work
to
out.
know that it's not because we don't want to have to pay
Another
royalties on
fee,
the
yeah.
song
So
that
it's not.
we
It's a
didn't
drum
use.
thing.
My
Ba-da-dum.
Bon Jovi's got enough money coming.
Oh my
from
gosh,
exactly.
yes. Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
In fact, he just bought the band.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Why not?
Yeah, he owns
While we were
Roger.
talking, he just bought the band. Okay.
And our next song is Straight to Rock City.
Yeah, that's
Now,
a great one, right?
and I have questions about Straight to Rock City.
All right.
Because Straight to Rock City uses Straight Up by Paula
Another
Abdul,
great song.
sung over Detroit Rock City by Kiss.
Yeah.
And also the vocal on this is great because again
Thank
you bring an intensity to it that she was a little frothy, and it's because it's a frothy pop song.
of course.
But you bring
Yeah, yeah.
but you sing it with purpose.
Yeah.
I don't mean. I hope that doesn't sound
No,
weird,
no,
but
I
you
totally
actually
get it.
bring intensity to it.
Yeah.
So it goes great. I want to know how the fuck has Kiss not sued you guys yet? I don't. Gene Simmons thinks he invented the treble clef. And I think Paul Stanley actually sued the Sky because it has stars in it. So how have these guys not come after you? I don't get it.
Oh,
First of all, Mike, I got to tell you something. This is no, listen, because the thing is about Kiss is a lot like a buffet, and when you go to a buffet, you're gonna want to get the prime rib, but you're also gonna want to get a cream puff at the end of the day. So Kiss is just trying to give everybody a little bit of filet and a little bit of cream puff at the same time.
God damn it. I have to take my headphones off to laugh loud. God damn it, Paul Stanley. No one does Paul's speaking voice.
No.
My friend Pat does Paul's patter voice.
Because everybody does this one all the time.
People!
Yeah, people! You guys got to get a little bit high tonight and all that stuff. Yeah.
Lions on the floor. Let me hear you roar.
But,
All that
my
horseshit.
lions in the upper seats. All that stuff. He turns into Aretha Franklin. He goes from being a Long Island housewife to being Aretha Franklin, which is really weird. But because most of the time this is how he talks, and that's it's just fun.
Perfect.
But,
Goddamn perfect.
Thanks, man. But the thing is, with that came out of left field, right? No, the way
You got it. Will you
Yeah.
record a drop for me as
Yeah,
him?
of course. Yeah,
all right.
sure,
All right.
whatever
I
you-
have to have it.
Whatever you want, as long as you go to jail and imitate me, I don't mind.
but no, the thing is, man, it's like as far as them not suing us, it's like if it were a situation where we're trying to get away with something, then it would open itself up to that kind of shit. There we go again. But we're not. We went through all the right channels, and we're the clearances and administrative rights and paying in advance and royalties and all that. We were out of pocket like so much money before we even sold one record because of that. So we're trying to do everything by the books, and I would really hope honestly that if any of these cats from Paul and Gene on down the line heard this stuff, that first of all they'd be pleased because a lot of people are getting re-exposed to these things again. Not that they're already not exposed to them, but also that it was done respectfully. And also, lastly, if I always say about this, man, it's like when people give me a lot of credit or give us a lot of credit for whatever, I say, you know what it is, man, it's a great idea. I happen to basically get the genesis of the idea, and then unfortunately I had a partner who could actually make it happen in Chuck, but it's a great idea, and anybody who did it, I'd be like, that's the greatest freaking idea ever. If you came to me, and I just met you, and you came up and said, hey, man, I got this band. I guess what we're going to do, we're going to take 80s metal and sing 80s pop over it, and we're going to try to capture the essence of both and do a whole new thing and make it sound contemporary. I'd be like, that's the best idea I've ever heard.
Yeah. And we're doing something new that's never been done before.
What's that?
We're actually paying the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, too, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
I mean,
You're
that's
not
the
trying to
one-
get over.
So at the end of the
Totally.
day, Kiss
I
needs
mean,
some
it-
money, so we're hoping
so-
to get some
Oh,
checks.
Kiss does need the money. Don't kid yourself.
Because we're on a farewell tour. We started in 1982, and we're still going. It's great.
That's beautiful.
Big crowds.
The combination is so good.
Thanks, man. It works, right? Isn't that weird? Who
And
would have thought?
Kiss, Guns N' Roses, Wheelhouse for me, Springfield. But I have to ask, why no Van Halen?
Oh, do you know what? That's a good question.
Because that is my band.
Oh,
That's
come
Kiss.
on.
Me too.
Okay.
How can you
Yeah?
not?
Me too.
Oh, that's
my
what
band.
got him playing guitar, man.
Yeah.
And that's how
Gorgeous.
we started working together was through Van Halen. But I'll tell you that story another time. What happened with No Van Halen? Well, first of all, the Kiss thing. I should tell you, I was always a Kiss freak, and I just loved him so much. And I said, we have to do a Kiss thing. And Detroit Rock City is his favorite too. And he goes, well, if we did it, I want to do Detroit Rock City. And so I'm thinking, get up, get down, get up, get out, straight up.
Done.
I go straight up.
Done.
Straight up. Do straight up to it.
You're like, done.
Yeah,
Write it
yeah,
up, Chuck.
exactly. Exactly, dude.
The funny thing is that Jesse would call me up in the middle of the night,
Yeah, yeah.
and he would put songs together that just the titles were the same.
But is there anything better?
Like Heaven and Heaven or something like that,
Yeah, right.
which incidentally is the only one that had the same title that worked. All the other ones were like, dude, it doesn't work.
I'd be
I've tried for hours now.
Well, it
These
shows.
are not going to work.
It shows in the titles.
Yeah.
Here comes the fool you wanted. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
otherwise you'd have,
I'm
Welcome
gonna need
to the
more
Jungle,
conjunctions.
Welcome to the Jungle.
I'm going to need more conjunctions in your titles.
All right, we'll work on it, man. I promise you.
Is there anything better than really knowing that something's going to be great?
Oh,
Is
God,
there
it's
anything
good-
better?
that's a good feeling.
Like you said, you call in the middle of the night
That's
and
a
you're
good
happy
feeling.
the fucking phone is ringing because you're like, dude, he had to come up with something brilliant. There's no better feeling than perfect creativity.
No,
It's-
it's amazing, and in fact, I have that moment. I can tell you that moment, man, when it was, because we have this other band called Loud and Clear, and Loud and Clear is a perfectly, really good melodic rock band. I mean, they really are great songs.
on melodicrock.com often.
There you go, exactly. See, you know about that. We're doing their festival in a couple.
They're a
weeks.
punchline. No offense, they're a punchline for me. Like we always, my friends and I will always, because they plugged Never Not Funny because we told them we mentioned a lot of classic rock bands,
Okay.
and inevitably there will be an email chain between me and my buddies, and it'll always be like, dude, did you see that Harem Scarum is a new release?
Love Harem Scarum.
Please,
Love it.
oh dude.
Oh God, my favorite band. Dude.
I haven't
like
heard
'em?
one note. Haven't heard one note.
Oh,
no
they're
offense.
fantastic.
So just it makes me laugh that
I'm gonna
guy at
turn you on.
melodicrock.com literally. He can't. They're his bulldozer. Like literally, fucking Harem Scarum's gonna break through, and I'm gonna fucking be there. Goddammit! He won't stop talking about Harem Scarum. It's insane.
Well, I'll give you their best of it. You'll see why.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
make a gift.
You'll
to you.
like it.
But I won't burn it. I'll order it. See? Yeah, you see. So that's for me to use.
Take a tip from Chuck.
But anyway, coming
man.
back to your earlier thing, you said something about Van Halen. The reason we didn't do Van Halen, honestly, is because we're an LA band. We're based in LA.
Do we want to tell them the truth?
Yeah, I always tell the truth, man. I'm telling
He
the
doesn't lie, man.
No, I don't lie.
He
I'm not
curses
big-
a lot, too.
No, I don't, dude. I've only done like 3 curses
I
this
know.
whole
You're
time.
good, buddy.
Okay.
We forgive you.
No, the thing is, we're an LA band, and I know that when we emerge on the LA scene, which is probably going to be in the next couple months, we'll probably inevitably draw comparisons to Steel Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even though, again, we are Steel Panther fans, we love them. All that we're doing that's similar to them is that we're doing 80s music.
Sure.
Okay, but other than that, that's where this and that there's a lot of hair involved. But but other
Thankfully.
than that, yeah, but
Real hair.
other than that, that's where the similarities end. Okay, so but I thought, you know what, we talked about it because we love, Chucky loves Van Halen and so do I. And I said, but you know what, if we do that, man, Ralph, the singer of Steel Panther, not only is a great singer, he's also a good vocal chameleon and can change his voice too and does a great job of it. But man, when you see that guy do David Lee Roth, it's David.
It's
dude.
retarded.
Hands down.
It's
Yeah.
there's.
I've seen him with Atomic Punks, and I used to. Here's
He's
here's
not
how
in that
good he
band
is.
anymore. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's not in Atomic Punks.
But he's doing the Panther
Steel
thing.
Panther
Yeah.
thing. So picking up all his
But
stuff.
here's how good Ralph is at David Lee Roth. I was bouncing
Yeah.
at the House of Blues,
Yeah.
and I was not on the floor. I was outside looking at IDs, and it was I think Boogie Nights was there,
Yeah.
which is a '70s type of band.
Also great.
And they
70s
started
disco,
to play,
disco
yeah.
band,
And they started to play. They heard a guy started to talk stage patter, and I went. I got rabbit ears where I went. David Lee Roth is here.
Yep.
In my head.
Oh, I know. It's
and they played. Ain't was it Ain't Talkin'? Or no. You Really Got Me.
Yeah.
And because it was 70s, it was a 70s type band. But in the middle of it, he started to do the riff from I heard all about your disease. He started doing Talking About Love.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, that's fucking Dave.
Yeah, yeah.
I left my post.
right. So go. Yeah.
From checking IDs, I'm like, stay here.
Yeah.
And I went inside to see David Lee Roth with the Boogie Nights,
Yep.
and it was Ralph. And
Yeah.
I'm like, holy God.
Yeah. It's amazing.
He's so good.
So that's the thing. So we didn't do it because we're here, they're here. And listen, there's a little secret that I'm passing along to anybody who ever wanted to do voiceover or anything else like that has always been my byline with this stuff. And that's that if you want people to think you're Superman, never show them your kryptonite. Okay, in other words, don't show them the stuff you don't do great.
Sure.
Only show them the stuff you do great. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like I get called sometimes. I got called to be on The Simpsons one time, and they wanted me to do a horse, like do horse sounds. And I can kind of
Now,
do
is that because of the hair, the mane?
No. They just
okay.
figured I did some other animal stuff. Yeah,
He looks like an
no.
animal,
they say,
so
you're
he
in.
could probably do animal stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. See, thank you, Lily.
Oh.
Thank you very much. She's
Lily
very
goes-
observant.
she went right to
but
Jess College.
no, yeah. See, and but who can argue? But the point is that I it would have been great, a great offer and everything like that. I said, you know what? I don't do it great. There's a guy in town who does that great. Call him. And I'm like, crap. But at the same time, that's why when I show up to jobs, most of the time they're like, Jess can do anything. The truth is, obviously, I can't do anything.
Sure.
But I don't let them see the stuff I can't do. So
Yeah.
if I did a Van Halen thing, and again, I'm trying to capture the essence of these great singers without being an impressionist, people would go, wow, it's really good. But you know who really does it great? Is him.
Right.
So why
And
mess
Jesse
with
does that a lot, man. He's that guy.
Sure.
it? Yeah, I don't want to. I don't.
He's the guy that's like, you know what?
get this guy.
There's
I
a
got the perfect
correlation too to what you're saying, in that they never let them see how good the thing you do. Never let them know how easy it is to do the thing you do well.
Yeah, that's true too. Act like
Never.
it's harder than it.
You have to act like it's the hardest fucking thing in the world, because we would do that when we would write scripts. I worked on a show, and we would have to write. They wanted 2 scripts a week. And then they came in and they wanted a third.
TV show or a radio?
It was a show called, you know what, you do America's Funniest Home Videos. You
Yes,
were the
I do.
voice
I'm
for
the
that.
announcer, yeah.
I wrote for Funniest Pets and People.
Oh, God.
And the other Animaniac, whoever was the
Rob
did the voiceover for our show.
Yeah,
So
wow. There's 6
this is
degrees,
weird.
man.
That's a tenuous thing I have with you. And also, here's another weird connection I have with you. My wife and I love the movie Mother.
Oh, God.
And I love the version of Mrs. Robinson in there.
Thanks, man.
That's you.
It sure is.
I had no fucking idea it was you.
I have a great...
Because I love the song, and I'm a love Simon and Garfunkel. But that version of that song, my wife and I would hear it, and I'd go, oh man, it again perks your ears up, where you just go, this is a fresh version of a song I've always loved, and it's still it's great.
I love that. I love that too.
And then in the I think the 48th page of your IMDb catalog, as I dried out the second highlighter, I found that you did that version.
Yeah, that's me and another guy named Steve Lively. Yeah, we did that together. And I'll tell you, there's a really funny story, and I got to tell you, if you like Mother, I take it you like Albert Brooks.
Love him.
Okay,
genius.
This is
so much of a genius. He made
man.
Albert
This
Brooks.
is
I'm at a
weird.
stoplight in the valley. He turns left in front of me.
Right.
I pondered doing a U-turn on a red to follow him, just to tell him what he meant to me.
Oh, dude, you know what? I got 50 stories, but I'm going to tell you one. I'm going
Okay.
to tell you one story, okay? So I get a call from Mark Shaman, who's the guy who wrote Hairspray, the brother.
And did all the South Park
South Park.
stuff. Sure.
And you know, he's fantastic, right? Okay, and he says, hey, man, I want you to come and sing this Simon and Garfunkel thing for a movie. I said, oh, good. Yes, for the movie Mother, like Mike was just saying. And I said, oh, cool, man. Whose movie is it? And he goes, well, it's Albert Brooks. And I'm like, my head exploded. And I'm like, dude, I'm like huge fan of Albert Brooks. And he said, really? I said, yeah. And I said, I actually do an impression of him, right? So I did the impression for Mark. And Mark goes, oh, my God, that's great. You got to do it for Albert. I said, okay. So I go down to the studio the next day, and I walk in, and there's Albert. Right, and he's sitting behind the mixing desk, and he looks forlorn. He has his lower lip kind of powdered out, like like that. You guys can't see it, but it does, And he's sitting there, and he doesn't look very happy, and he's kind of slouched down in his seat. And Mark brings me over, and he goes, "Hey, Albert." He goes, "This is Jess. He's going to be singing on the song, for Mrs. Robinson." And I said, "Hi, man. It's so great to meet you." And he goes, "Hello. It's nice to see you." And I go, I have to tell you something, man. I said, Defending Your Life is honestly one of my top 5 movies of all time ever.
Oh, great.
And he looks at me and he goes, great, you're the guy. Right? And I go, and I'm like, wow. And Mark goes, do it for him, right in my ear. And I go, no, I couldn't do that. Well, as soon as I said no, I couldn't do it, he became a different person. Okay, his back shot straight up, and he got really intense. And he looked at me, he goes, what is it? He goes, you do something? What do you do? Right? And I go, it's just this stupid little thing. He goes, listen, I can't be left out of anything. I have to know. Seriously, and he was really intent. He goes, I have to know what it is. What do you do? Like an impression? And I go, yeah. And he goes, who's it of? And I go, well, I imitate you, kind of. And he goes, you do an impression of me? And I said, he goes, let me hear you. Right? So I said some stuff from Lost in America or whatever, and everybody's laughing, and he's just staring at me, okay? And after like 6 seconds of staring at me, he looks at everybody else in the room, and he goes, is that good? Is that how I sound? Right? So I'm thinking, it's exactly what I want him to be, right? So he goes, that's what I sound like. And they're like, yeah. He goes, okay, good. He goes, let's sing. I feel good. I'm energized. Let's do this. Come on. Right? So I go in there, and we start singing. And every time somebody new came in the booth, I kid you not, no matter where we were in the song, he hit the stop button, and he pressed the talk back, and he goes, say something like me. And I'd say something, and I'd see him through the glass going, is it good? Do you like it? Because that's what he does, right? So I'm like, I'm in heaven now,
sure.
Right? So we finished the song up, and they told me before it started, they said we wanted to sound just like Simon and Garfunkel. And I said, well, you're going to be cool legally and all that stuff, because I know all of that stuff. And they said, yeah, we got, Paul Simon gave it his okay. And so we finish it up, right? And it sounded a lot. If you see the movie, it sounds a lot like Simon and Garfunkel. So,
but just different enough to where you go, hey, wait.
That's new. Yeah. So he walks over to me. This is my Albert Brooks favorite moment. I have several more, but this is my favorite one. He walks over to me and he goes, you know something? He said, I think this was good. and I go, you do? And he goes, do you know why? And I said, no, why? And he goes, I think it's good because it sounds like the record, but it doesn't sound so much like the record that I'm going to have any legal problems, right? He goes, goes, there's not going to be a lawyer calling me or sending me a letter. And I go, actually, man, I gotta be honest with you. It sounds a lot like the record. I thought that's what you wanted. I thought you wanted it to sound like the record. He goes, yeah. He goes, it really does sound like it, doesn't it? Right? And I go, yeah. He goes, it sounds exactly like it. And I go, he totally changed the opinion. And I said, yeah, it kind of does. And dude, I kid you not, he thought about it for a minute and he looked at me and he goes, well, I tell you what. He goes, if I get arrested, you can go to prison and imitate me. Which was like, I mean, I literally for 45 minutes, man, I was in an Albert Brooks movie because he is that guy. That's who he is.
That's terrific.
So I love that you love him too, because I'm a huge, and I'm the official voice match for him for Disney for all the Finding Nemo stuff. So, so so I see him sometimes. He's like, "You're still doing me?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's good. Somebody's got to do it." I said, "Yeah." Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, we're getting
okay, Lily's waving something. I don't know what it might be on fire.
I don't even know. How do we spin into that? I don't
know.
We IMDb. We went IMDb because we were talking Kiss, and then we'll go to the
Van Halen. And talk about Ralph, how great Ralph does from Steel
break.
Panther with his. So that's why I didn't want to do it, because it's like it might be good, but it wouldn't be great, and you already got somebody who does it great. So
sure,
exactly.
Praying for a Sweet Weekend.
Yeah, Chucky's singing lead on that. Did you know that? That is Chucky.
You go put that on IMDb.
That's Chuck Duran singing lead, ladies and gentlemen. He's a great singer.
That's fantastic. On Praying for a Sweet Weekend. Now that uses "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi.
Yep.
It uses "Working for the Weekend" by Loverboy.
Yep.
And then a very sneaky appearance of the riff of "Sweet Child of Mine," which Slash says is a joke riff that he was just goofing around, fucking around in a.
They called it like a carnival thing or something in there. Calliope.
Yeah. In the book, I just finished the unauthorized.
I know you did. You like that book a lot. You like that book, the Aerosmith story, I believe, right?
Every page. And you're singing lead on that?
Yeah.
That's cool. How much? So you do the harmonies and stuff. Are you? I mean, you're very good on that song. Is that something you want to do, or you just defer to Jess, or do you sing on the loud and clear stuff too?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, on the loud and clear, on every record we've ever done, I've always he makes me sing.
Because it's kind of harmony metal.
Well, because Jesse's always like, dude, you're such a great singer. You need to sing. You need to sing. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
My goal is for me only to sing one song, and everybody else can sing all that.
I mean, I would love to be able to.
I do that with my friend Max. I tell Max, I go, dude, you sing so great. Do a bunch of drops where you sing. And so then it covers time where I don't have to fucking talk.
Exactly, man. I can go off stage and chill and hang out, and he can go on. I'm sorry, man. I interrupted.
So, he makes me sing. So on this record, he was like, dude, you got to sing a song. There's no way that you're not going to sing a song.
Sure.
And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. So I had to put something together that I could sing and make myself shine a little bit. And
you did, bro.
This ain't on IMDb, but I'm also there's a show.
It's
called it's a Disney on Disney XD called I'm in the band, and I'm the singer on that show.
He does the singing for this guy who's playing the singer.
Exactly.
So it's Chuck's voice. I mean, I've heard my voice coming out of people's mouths all the time because I've done that before, but he's never done it. It's a trip, isn't it? When you see some dude
total trip,
and his mouth, it's moving into your voice.
But he's like really. But anyway,
he's reimagining.
He's reimagining
Chuck Duran.
Chuck Duran, dude. He's like a tribute band to you.
Exactly. So like these days, I'm freaking singing like a lot, man. Because I mean, in this band, in this rock sugar band, it's like
it's
from
vocals.
beginning to end, I'm playing guitar, hitting buttons, and singing like constantly.
Well, Loud and Clear is kind of a harmony metal type of band anyway, so you're used to doing it.
I'm used to it.
But on this one, I mean, Jesus Christ, any pop from the '80s and then the metal from the '80s, they have to use you, or you can't do everything.
No, and that's why it's so cool, because seriously, it's like Chuck. Johnny, actually, our bass player, has a real good voice too. In terms of, I mean, he would be able to sing lead as well. But Chucky is just a real good singer, man. And it's like, to me, I always loved the Beatles because I was like, this is so great. Oh, who's singing this one? Oh, that's George. Oh, they're giving Ringo his song. Here's Ringo's song. And I always thought that's just cool because it's like different flavors of ice cream, and it's like it gives me an excuse to go off stage and change my pants.
And plus, we have something. We're not going to talk about it probably, but we have
for various
visually
reasons.
we have something very, very cool planned for when we actually go into that segment of
Cool.
the show. We're not even going to talk about it. That's another show.
Climb it up. Keep it quiet. People
it's funny, dude.
Yeah, they want to learn something.
Come to the show.
Heaven and Heaven is next.
Yes.
The requisite ballad. You have to have a ballad.
Have to have a lighter song.
Of course
bro.
you do.
Yeah, come on.
And this uses Heaven by Bryan Adams and Heaven by Warrant.
Yep.
And it's too perfect. I mean, again, the music it's just the way it goes together, and it's the vocal, and then it chimes in. Again, folks, get the album, get Reimaginator by Rock Sugar Band. I can't talk enough about it.
There's a lot going on.
And that's the ballad song, so I can imagine what that's going to be like live.
Yeah, that'll work out well.
That's going to be great. And then after that, the next track is.
Hey, we're all gonna get laid.
Hey, everybody!
Hey, I tell you, we're okay.
Two of those naked lady tees.
It looks good on you, though.
Breaking the Love is the next song.
Yeah, Breaking the Love. This one bothered you.
This violates the code.
I know, man. I heard about it.
This violates your Band Funny. You came up with Band Funny,
and then we didn't live by the sword and die by the sword.
Breaking the Love uses 10cc, which violates the 80s theme. That's the thing. It's a song from 1975. It's a song I'm Not in Love, which is a great song.
Great song.
And then also Breaking the Law by Judas Priest, which just barely squeaked
1980,
in.
right.
1980.
We squeaked by it.
And so then this is when you just went, well, fuck it, we can do whatever we want, right?
Chucky did. And I want you to know,
Well,
by the way.
no, because-
No. I'll just say this,
Okay,
and
go
then you
ahead.
can do it. Okay, go ahead.
You got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell a story, and then you
Yeah,
gonna
you tell a
talk,
story.
'cause I'm gonna talk first.
Go ahead.
What happened was he came to me and he said, "We got to do this. I'm not in love," because he loves that song, and I like this song too. It's a great song. I'm like, dude,
Fantastic.
it's 75, and I said, "What is this? A fictional little girl doing with this record?" He said, "Bro, it's so good, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter." And I said, oh, "Okay, whatever."
No, tell him what I said. I said, well, maybe it was her mom's.
Yeah, he said it belonged to her mom. Well, we also decided.
Hold on. I love the fact that you had to come up with shitty backstory for your shitty backstory.
Listen, if we're gonna have this crazy fucking story that people are like,
It
did
was
that
her
really
mom's record.
happen?
Yeah.
It's like, come
Oh, yeah.
on.
Oh, God, no. The first comment, I got to just say this to you. You guys know, seriously, man. I mean, and God bless you wherever you are. This is no offense. But when our Facebook thing first went up, very, very early on before the buzz started, and I think now we've had over 500,000 hits on YouTube on the various things and stuff. Even the one video went down.
Yeah,
after-
you had some problems with Sony.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in
Okay.
a little bit. But that had 315,000 or something when it went down. But anyway, this girl, when we first had the Facebook, you check it a lot because you just got it and you don't see if anybody actually is interested. And so I would look at it sometimes, and this one girl wrote, man, and I was just like, again, you're a sweetheart, man. We love you. But it said, I just want to say how much I love this band. This is my new favorite album that I've ever heard, and I think it's all the more remarkable considering what they had to go through, and I'm just glad that they made it back alive, and I hope that they're all healthy and happy. And she was so sincere, man, in readjusting to life. I know that can probably be very difficult, and I'm just going, oh my God, man!
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that's like, yes, and the people on Desperate Housewives actually live in that same neighborhood and call each other by those names. And-
Yeah. I wish I had that problem, though, because I'll tell a story about punching a guy in the cock, and then everybody's like, well, that didn't happen. Well, sadly, it did.
Actually, that did happen.
Yeah, I can't even
That was
go.
me. And see, now we're all nice to each other. We're friends.
My
man.
shitty backstory is real.
And he talks about it so eloquently.
Sure,
doesn't
I do. So our next song is "I Love Sugar on
he?
Me."
Yeah.
Which is it's got "Pour Some Sugar on Me" by Def Leppard.
Yes.
And it's got "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett.
Another
and the
song
Blackhearts.
girls love.
And that, again, I'm thinking I've missed the other song because we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
All
Oh, yeah,
good.
you'll get to it.
All right,
Yeah,
because there's only 2 tracks left on the album.
Yeah, there are. I love Sugar, but what's great about that is that, honestly, there were a couple of tunes.
Well, first of all, you're Joe Elliott, fucking dude. The opening, love it like a bomb,
Yeah,
bomb.
yeah.
Just it sounds exactly like the song. I mean,
Thanks,
literally,
man.
it right from the jump.
Thanks again.
And I have to go back to. I'm sorry, real quick. On
Yeah.
was it? Where were we? What was the last song? Breaking the Love. The vocal and the harmonies are fantastic on
Thanks,
that
man.
song.
Yeah.
And it's funny if you listen to "I'm Not in Love." It's a very spare song.
Yeah.
And to flesh it out with the Judas Priest thing, and then to add the vocal and the, kind of a metal edge on the "I'm Not in Love."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You had to.
So great
You
because
had
it's
to.
such a clean song,
Right.
and you dirtied it up, and it's so great. So
Thanks, man.
I kind of glossed over it.
No, I really
wanted to.
appreciate
So
that.
you like the song?
Love it. I love the whole
Oh,
album.
that's not like the He just says the fake band story doesn't add up to the 70s, dude, which makes sense. I mean, But again,
We should rewrite the story then.
We're rewriting the story right now, dude. We're writing
Let's
the,
do it.
We're writing the story right now.
I love it. It's just come
no,
on.
come on, dude.
You know,
No, come on. Your points were actually when I listened to you for the first time and you were saying that, I'm like, you know what, he's right, because you were right. But no, I love Sugar on Me. That was another one that I came to Chuck with, and I'm like, this can't be complicated because it's the same song.
Right.
I said they're basically, saw her standing there by the, love it like a bomb, baby, come and get it on. I mean, it's like these are really, really similar, man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, no disrespect to the writers, but I'm like, they should fit right in the pocket, and they fortunately do. And I know
That's
that
great.
live, that's going to go over really, really good.
Well, it's funny because Loverboy's a band like that. When you had the praying for the
Sweet
weekend,
Weekend, yeah.
their songs are very Kiss type, like "Loving Every Minute of It." Very
Yeah.
much. Gong,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
It sounds like
You know.
pirates would sing it.
I know,
what
you're
I mean?
right.
Just these jolly guys with a jug of grog, and then they're
Do you know what's funny about that? You really want to get technical on your rock lexicon stuff? I think that particular song was co-written by Mutt Lange.
okay.
Who, as you know, did all the Def Leppard
Sure.
stuff, and he's very big on those.
Of course he is.
So that makes
So that's what I'm
perfect
saying.
sense.
They're very wheelhouse with one another, and Loverboy is just very much a chanting, and so Def Leppard too can really
Exactly.
So to have those songs go together, perfect.
Thanks, man.
Now, the song where I almost woke up my wife.
Oh,
The song I kept listening. And
it
I
was
kept listening.
wife-worthy, man.
Well, I told you 4 in the morning.
Is this
Yeah.
because it made you feel sexy, or
what were you
wanted
waking
to tell
up
her
for?
something.
Your
man?
very presence here makes me feel sexy. Chuck Duran.
He's talking to Lily, not you.
No, that's Chuck. No, Round and Separated.
Yeah.
Which I actually, a title I think I like.
Thank you.
As opposed to clunking it up with 900 words, round and separated, perfect.
You're going to love the next title, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, Jesus Christ. which features Round and Round by Rat.
Yes.
And the opening is very distinctive of Round and Round by Rat. And that's the opening of, when you hear the snippet, it's so great because it's the music for Rat and you're playing, and then there's the break.
Yeah,
and it's that kind of ethereal, just that keyboard.
Yeah.
And here we stand.
Yeah.
Which is Separate Ways by Journey, which is the first show I ever did of this. You guys are familiar, but
you alluded to it, but your wife accosted.
We
Steve
met
Perry.
Steve Perry, and I bought him lunch.
Oh, nice.
You bought him lunch?
We bought it. We went to Louise's Trattoria in the Valley.
This is Paul Stanley. I own Louise's Trattoria, and I also own Steve Perry.
He would never own Louise's because he can't pronounce the S's.
That's true, yeah.
He would name it something completely different.
Yeah, you're right. I'd stick to something like Burger King. Go ahead.
So I was sitting there with my wife, and Steve Perry walked in with a guy, and I am a Journey guy from way back.
How can you not?
And particularly him, his voice. I mean, there's like in Girl Can't Help It. I mean, there are vocal breaks where you hear it and you want to scream.
Oh, he's
so
the man.
good.
He's the man.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And so what happened was it wound up my wife and I go, I'm buying him lunch. I'm not going to tell him. So I made the waitress come over, and again she brought over his check, and she goes, I can't do that, and she left. Then she came back. She goes, you know what? I can do that. So I gave my credit card. I bought his lunch, and I made her tell them. And then Steve Perry came to us and met me and my wife. And my wife, as we were talking to him, my wife reached up and there was something in his hair, like lint or something. She actually reached into his hair and grabbed and touched his head. And he zigged when she zagged, so she wound up kind of hitting him in the head to grab the gun. No! It was the crazy, because we were talking about The Sopranos, and he was really friendly. He's the friendliest guy. He talked to us for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And then my wife goes, oh, hold on. And she touched his arm, and then she reached into his hair. She touched his hair. and we all know Steve Perry. You want to touch his hair.
Yeah, sure.
She just did. Just completely. She felt so at home. She just reached into his hair. Hold on.
And then she sold the finger she touched the hair with on eBay. And made a lot of money.
So I love Steve Perry. And
Yeah,
when you hit, because again, you're right there. You're in his neighborhood.
Thanks,
and then the line, the Here We Stand, I went, come on. And I almost woke Karen up to go, you have to hear this. And
Thanks,
I wound up having to wait another hour and a half for her to get go to work. And then, of course, they're never as excited as you are. She's sitting there,
good.
she's wearing like a dress shirt and bottomless making coffee. And I'm, it's sexy, but I'm like, listen to this. Oh my God, listen to this. It's like Rat and Journey. And she's like, I hate Rat. I hate Journey. And quite frankly, I hate you at this point. Leave me alone. But I kept playing it. But dude, Separate Ways, I just, it is fantastic. And the blend on it is so good. And the blending of the solos, there you go.
Yeah, he caught that,
dude.
See, that was all Chuck.
The blending on the solos of from Round and Round into the Separate Ways solo. Oh my God, dude, it's so fantastic. So really, Chuck, huge again.
See, Chucky. Yeah.
I can't. Again, I'm gushing, but people, please buy it because again, this is all wheelhouse. Literally, I said this. It's like someone found 13-year-old me and went, dude, in 5 years, you're going to love something, and then we're going to make it better. Because I love cover tunes, I love mashups, and then I love all of this music. And to bring it all together and bring it all home, dude, fantastic. And again, in a quality way.
That's the
not
deal.
in a jokey, not in a making fun
lame.
of. Sure,
Right.
it's heartfelt, and it's a tribute to all of it.
You're absolutely right.
So,
including on that song, that song in particular, I'm proudest, I think, of my own stuff of that song because, I'm such a Steve Perry fan, and I love Steve Perry stuff so much. And when I did that vocal, I remember thinking, I did Sandman first, right?
Okay.
Don't Stop the Sandman. And I thought, well, I changed a couple of little things in there from the Don't Stop Believing that we all know and love. But on the Round and Separated one, I said, I'm going to change some stuff up. I want to keep things the same initially, but then maybe in the second verse and the end, I'm going to take off and do some different things. And I did that, and it just makes me feel really proud because it's like, here's a guy who was my hero, and I actually felt like, wow, I did something that maybe he'd like, and it's like if he heard it, and I hope that if he ever hears it, he would.
Well, we're going to play it. I'm gonna play,
cool, man.
So right now we're going to play Round and Separated. It's Separate Ways by Journey, Round and Round by Rat, and listen to the solos. You'll hear the solos. The blending of it is fantastic. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's classic Chuck Duran.
Indeed, that is Chuck Duran. That's Chuck Sugar.
Classic Jesse Harnell.
And classic Rock Sugar.
Yeah.
Round and Separated.
Go.
Worlds apart, hearts broken into two
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Schmidt, the 40-year-old boy.
Hey, it's Mike Schmidt.
Chuck, that was really good, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
You
it.
sounded great.
See, I'm freaking good, man.
Now you can put this on your IMDb page.
You know it. I'll have one thing
You'll have
on
one.
there.
Yeah, you can get
something
one.
I stole from Jess. Right. My claim to fame.
That was Round and Separated, ladies
That
and gentlemen.
was,
And with
indeed.
and the note at the end, the what?
Yeah,
The Steve Perry. I can't do it, obviously. Well, actually, I can. I'm
That was
good.
pretty
You just
good.
did.
I'm
Come
very
on.
good.
Yeah, you just did it too. Everybody do it.
Yeah, I'll do King Diamond and clear this room.
So will he.
So the fantastic track, a song I love. And now
Very
we come,
true.
Rock
Yeah.
Sugar,
Yeah.
to the last track
Yeah.
on this album.
Yes.
And what I think is probably the most complete blend of songs.
Yeah.
Where everything really kind of married in, except for one. All right, well, there's one thing I'll get to. This is a song, first of all, it's called, and brace yourselves, it's called Dreaming of a Whole Lot of Breakfast.
Yeah.
Which that just seems like we gave up. It seems like it was midnight in the studio. You were just about to wrap it and went, you know what? Fuck
That's
it.
when we start.
Let's take a word from every title.
Yeah.
Because it's on this song. Now I think there's 4 songs on here, right? There's 4 that I know of.
Yeah. He probably caught it then.
Oh, okay. There's Breakfast in America by
Yeah.
Supertramp.
Yeah.
And then there's Dream On by Aerosmith. Dream On is the open.
Yeah.
And then the lyric, and then it kicks in. You know, the lyric is Breakfast in America, but then you bring in Dream On later.
Right.
And then, but this is my issue here: the stop down to bring in the Whole Lot of Love guitar.
Yeah.
That's the only moment
Bugging you?
where, well, everything's fantastic. Look, everything's fantastic. Okay? But it's the only moment where it seems like something you went, let's put this here.
Okay.
It's the only, and I just want to ask, like, the thought process of that, because everything else cascades and mixes and perfectly blends, and all of a sudden, was it just because Zeppelin is so monolithic we had to stop
No,
and
actually,
go, ba-dum.
You know what's really remarkable for those of you guys who may not be aware of this guy, seriously, I mean, I'm like freaking Rain Man with rock music. I'm serious. I'm really retarded. I know everything that everybody ever did. I'm like, yeah, of course, definitely done 1967. Yeah, Abbey Road Studios, but definitely the Beatles were out of town that week, so it was done by another band. You know what? I know all this stuff. Mike knows his stuff, man. It's like when it comes to this, it's very impressive. It really is. And the answer to your question, why that stop is there, that actually, the song primarily came from Chuck. That, I believe, came from me. And the reason for that is because coming back to the crowd response thing, the reason that stop is there is because live, when you do that, I forget what goes into it, but when you stop and then there's a light on him, and he just goes,
Perfect.
Yeah. See, Lily just got up and took her clothes off while I was talking about this. So obviously,
She would have had to put them on
now
first.
she's
More tits.
Right now, she's fanning herself. See, because Mike, that right there, that's one of those moments that's just like engineered to provoke a response. And I guarantee you that live in the dark with the lights, and then the light hits him, and he does that.
It'll go crazy.
It's gonna go
Yeah,
nuts.
it is. But it is the first moment where I went, where it literally it just happens.
Sure.
Instead of everything just kind of, instead of you coming upon things,
Right.
that one is very in your face.
Yeah.
And then the Stairway solo.
There you go.
All right, so good.
See,
I
most
didn't-
people do not catch that.
It's got the solo for Stairway to Heaven in this song.
That was all Chuck,
And
yeah.
that's is it you, Chuck?
That was his idea. and
Fantastic,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And because it's not oppressive. Again, it's if you know it, you know it. Again,
Right.
like a lot of the stuff on this album.
Right. If you don't know it, it's just going to go by.
Right, but if you
Did
know
you
it,
catch it right away?
oh
or-
fuck yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will tell you
I-
this.
You don't have to get
Absolutely.
fucking mad at me.
Mike
I don't know-
just hit Chuck in the balls.
You don't have to yell at me now.
The
Just
only
kidding.
the one thing that did fool me is when we talked about shook a prayer. Again the titles, guys. It's so funny, but shook me like a prayer.
Yeah.
Because it did sound so much like Poison.
Yeah.
I thought it was nothing but a good time. So the first, because you're in that mode where you're trying to guess. So when I first started to hear it, I didn't pick the riff up right away, and I was like, well, that's nothing but a good time, right? And then once the
Yeah.
and then when it kicks in, you go, oh, okay, I'm back on that.
Yeah.
But I think this is the most complete song.
I hope Cece, next record we got to do something.
Yes.
Cece.
Oh, no.
We are. No, we got to send him some money and tell him we're going to do a song. He's going to be so excited. Go
Dude,
ahead.
my favorite moment of CC DeVille is
choose one.
well, we saw him. We went and saw the package tour a few times, my buddy Pat and I. And there's on every Poison album, there's the moment where Brett goes CC, and then CC plays a song.
Yeah.
We watched, and he did a song by Samantha Seven. He actually,
I love Samantha
in order
Seven.
to get him to tour, they were like, dude, you can do one song by Samantha Seven on the Poison tour. So
Yeah.
in the middle of it, he played was it Strange? I forget what song it was, but it was the. Framed, is that the
Framed.
Framed,
Yeah,
and with the
oh,
triple
yeah.
track on the vocal.
Love
and,
that song.
Well, he sang it, And in the middle of it, because CC DeVille sings lead. Samantha 7 was a side project for CC DeVille.
Really good pop record, man. If you guys like,
it's
pop
really
rock,
quick,
it's
really
good.
quick 3.5-minute pop songs.
Yep.
And he. So in
I
other
love that
words,
record.
when Poison wanted him to tour, he's like, I got to bring Samantha 7.
I gotta do something from this band because I made this record and somebody's gotta hear it. I gotta play.
And they're like, all right,
no,
you fucking
I
junkie.
Talk dirty to me for 10 years. I gotta play one of my songs.
And so they agreed to let him do it. So they let him sing the song, and in the middle of the song, when the comes to the solo, CC DeVille actually goes, CC! He calls himself out.
No!
I swear to God. Universal Amphitheater, Pat and I, we died laughing.
Oh, God.
In the middle of his own song, he goes, CC!
He called himself.
Calls himself out to play
He
the
gave
solo.
himself a shout out.
Oh, God
That's
damn it.
outstanding. He was so used to it, Mike.
And he's so him. You know what I mean? You're just
I
like,
know.
that's who he
He's
is.
very sad sometimes.
And and oh my God, did Guns N' Roses hate them? According to the book. Oh my
Really?
God. Oh, dude,
Really?
hatred.
Why?
Because they fancied themselves like the stepbrother, kind of like Poison got all the attention first because they came out from Pennsylvania, and they also thought they were whores. And they Bobby Dall flat out said to them, "We'll do whatever the fuck it takes. I'll wear makeup. I'll whore myself out to become a band."
Right.
And so then they, of course, in between shooting up heroin, just hated them because they were just they didn't want to do anything but play fucking music and get laid and get high.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, it's they even say that they teased up. I think it's a bullshit cop out, but they say they teased up their hair and stuff to kind of mock Poison in the first video. And I'm like, well, no, you kind of had to do that to get on the air back then.
Back
kind
then,
of.
87 or whatever.
But maybe I believe them though, because then also in the video, Axel's got the pin straight hair. So who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But they're junkies. Who fucking cares?
Oh yeah. Can't leave it alone.
God, I listened to Spaghetti Incident after I read the book. I started getting really into everything.
Yeah.
And Jesus, because they became this bloated parody of themselves. And in Spaghetti Incident, he ends 4 songs by going, "Yeah." 4? Really, Axel? I mean, you did. On Don't. It works on "You Could Be Mine" on Illusion 2.
Yeah.
But then Spaghetti Incident, 4 songs. Yeah.
I got to read this book, Mike. I'll give you the Harem Scarum CD. You loan me the book.
All right, so that's every track.
That's the album.
Rock Sugar Reimaginator, and I got to tell you, I love it. People, go to rocksugarman.com and pick it up. And you said you're going on tour. I keep hearing. Well, let's talk a little bit about real quick. Share the Sugar.
Yeah.
The Share the Sugar contest.
Thanks for bringing that up.
So that's a contest you have where you're trying to get people to mention Rock Sugar to local promoters or DJ people, and also to get you booked for road stuff as well. How does it work?
Mostly, well, thanks to Mike Schmidt, the road stuff is being handled by a little agency called Paradigm, which is
Can we clarify that really quick?
Yeah, let's. I'll be
Just
happy.
rewind the tape.
I'll be happy to clarify. What happened is Mike mentioned us in a podcast that was heard by a fellow named Joe who works for a little periodical called Polestar, which is to the concert business what Billboard is to the record business. That's the quickest way to explain it. And Joe was sufficiently interested to Google us and see us and check us out, and then he put a thing up saying, who the hell are these guys? Because he heard about it from Mike Schmidt. And then Polestar, some guys from Paradigm who routinely read Polestar because it's about their industry, said, who are these guys? And they looked at us, and they liked us, and they signed us the next day on the phone. It was the first time they've ever signed a band without seeing them live. I think they'd heard some acoustic stuff, so they knew that we could do it. And then they brought me and Chucky out to Nashville, and we made the deal, and we're working with them. So they're booking really good shows for us. Yeah.
So by the way, the first thing they did while we were over in Nashville is they brought a guitar in to go here.
Oh yeah, we had to do Sandman.
And then
really?
Yeah.
To prove it.
It was
Like, hey, prove it, fellas.
Well, then it wasn't like
They
that,
were
but it
just
was kind of like, we need to make sure that you guys can really do this shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we did,
and so we did it, and then they were like, "Wow, this is great! I'll get
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's so. I no offense, Chuck. That's great.
But
I love your guitar story. But the important part is
Mike Schmidt did come up.
Mike Schmidt,
Mike Schmidt did come
ladies
up.
and gentlemen.
Well, I just want to make sure that because I
Yeah.
goofed around on the Facebook page and I didn't want to look like that guy because again. You are hardworking, talented motherfuckers who've been doing this a long fucking time and have come up with a great idea. And I
That's
don't
the thing.
I didn't want to be a guy who's like, I did it. But at the same time, I played a small part in it.
You did absolutely.
That's all
You
I
did,
want to
buddy.
hear.
And that's
Absolutely.
and that's why we're sitting here and
Okay.
we love you.
That's
and
right.
we are now
we are paying you
40-year-old
back,
boy
and
supporters.
that's it. Now we're even.
We're done.
Yeah, that's the end of that.
Well, what about that party I got invited to?
Okay.
Mike's
the party too.
Mike's gonna come to the next party up at my house. But Lily too, obviously.
So when I talked about you at first, there was one tour date, which is the
Elgin,
Melodic Rock.
Illinois.
Yes.
Elgin, Illinois.
Coming to Elgin,
Yeah,
Illinois.
our birth town. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
You guys and Jeff Scott Soto in a fucking 9-seat bar somewhere,
There you go.
ducking bottles behind chicken wire.
Yeah, man.
Jeff Scott Soto.
Guess who's promoting that
He should
show?
form a band called Almost. Literally, Jeff Scott Soto. I love him. I love his voice. I have all the Talisman stuff. I saw him live with Journey, and but he just never, for some reason, man, he never had a podcast mention him and break on through. It never happened.
He's a talented and very sweet guy.
Oh my God! All that YouTube
great
stuff
guy.
at the Queen conventions.
Oh,
I mean,
I know.
God, Jeff Scott Soto's great.
Great
All right,
guy,
so
man, great guy.
He's a good friend of ours. by the
So
way.
Good.
We love Jeff.
But
I
wait,
embarrassed myself in front of Jeff Scott Soto.
yeah.
once.
What did you do? Did you grab his hair and rub lint on
We were
it?
backstage.
That's just your wife.
It runs the family.
Okay.
We wound up backstage at the Journey show when it was Journey, Billy Idol, the big one down in Irvine Meadows.
Okay.
And we wound up backstage, and my friend always brings albums to get signed. Well, Jeff Scott Soto's over talking to a bunch of people, and I went up to him. I have no idea what to say to these people. I don't get autographs. I'm content with like a handshake or saying. We always make a joke. It's the I love your work hug. Where I've given it to Kool Mo D. I've given it to fucking Chuck D. Everybody. So Ice Cube. And then, sure enough, I went up to Jeff Scott Soto. I didn't know what to say because, again, it's his first tour with Journey, and it was a weird confluence of he's kind of broken through, and he's meeting a bunch of people. And I walked up to him, I put my hand out, and I go, Jeff, put your hand up.
Yeah.
We're all proud of you, man. We're all proud of you. Like, he could not care less who this fat fuck is backstage who's proud of him for touring once with Journey. This guy's got a body of work. And I'm like, we're all proud you made the leap to Irvine Meadows.
Right.
To sing Steve Perry songs via Steve Augeri. So terrible. You're literally like the fifth guy in this band. I mean, they had a for hire sign hanging off the microphone. That's who you are. His band should be Almost and with a hired gun on the cover. That's literally all they should put on there for Soto. But I come up to him, hey, we're proud of you. So I look dumber than him.
Oh, good Lord, man. This is why when we were listening to him on the plane, they wanted us to shut up, dude.
Sure. All right. So
no, you were saying about Share This Sugar in Elgin, Illinois.
Yeah.
What happened was, dude, before we got with Paradigm, melodicrock.com, which I know is your favorite website, the guy who runs that is a guy named Andrew McNeese out of Australia, of all places.
Awesome
I do, and I
guy.
do like the website.
He's
I do.
a great
If
guy.
you're into melodic rock, man, that's the lifeline. I mean,
Sure.
seriously, out of all those websites, that's like that one, man. That guy is in tune, and he knows more than me and you. But it's ridiculous.
Right.
So, and we know a lot. So he approached us before anything had happened and said, would you guys be interested? And I'm just a fan of the site, and I said, yeah, man, we'll go do it. And it's kind of funny because it's going to be a great show. It's funny how on our website it just said Elgin, Illinois.
It really made me laugh.
Right, of course, and for good reason. It's like they have one tour date. Polestar talked about it too in Elgin, Illinois. It's at a place called the Roadhouse, but the important part is that it's Melodic Rock Fest 2. There's a lot of really good melodic rock bands on that bill. And what's really funny is, by way of contrast, that show is going to be like an intimate club atmosphere. I think there's like 1,500 people going to be there. And the next day, we're going to Memphis, and we're playing in front of 30,000 people.
How great.
The next day.
That's so perfect.
Yeah, so it's just like
And did
crazy.
that springboard off of let me talk about Paradigm just for a second.
And Share the Sugar. I want to remember.
Okay, we'll come back to that. But on Paradigm, when they got you, it seemed to me, and I don't know if they had something to do with it or if it was just the internet, you went viral quick.
Yes.
I talked about you, and you had already had a fan page, and people were already noticing you.
Yeah.
But then thanks to Carl Shaw.
Carl.
Buddy, what the
Carl,
fuck?
where are you, man?
Thank you, Carl.
He's dead. He's in a ditch somewhere, drinking water out of a fucking, cement pipe. No one can find him. Carl Shaw's wrecked. It turned out. So all of a sudden, I talked about it, and then I started to notice you more. I mean, it was more viral. I saw you a lot more stuff on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then. The Kimmel people, there was a page to get you on Kimmel.
Yeah.
Did Paradigm have anything to do with all this, or was this fans? I mean, how did that come about? Like, are you, first of all, are you doing Kimmel yet?
We absolutely are planning on doing Kimmel eventually, and hopefully soon. They're talking to people over there, and that's like our first. They said, "What show would you guys most like to do?" We said Jimmy Kimmel. So,
Sure, and they got that outdoor stage.
Yeah,
so
First
great.
we said, we want to
the Mike Schmidt show, obviously. They said that's hard to get.
And
they said that's going to be
that's
hard.
probably not going to happen, guys.
They said, "What's your second choice?"
We said Jimmy
They,
Kimmel.
they said who so loudly every owl in Los Angeles flew
Yeah.
to wherever you were. They thought it was a mating call. That's exactly what happened.
So we want to do that show. I mean, we have irons. We want to do Ellen. We want to do any shows that we.
And what I'm
have
saying
us,
is, it became this viral thing to the point where I
the
started
fans
getting
did it, man.
Twitters
Yeah, they did it.
from people who I don't know, because
Wow.
I follow like baseball writers and people like that.
Yeah, you mentioned this on.
Yeah,
your
yeah,
thing,
yeah. And so there was a guy named Will Carroll who writes for Baseball Prospectus, and a guy named Keith Law who writes he's on ESPN.com. He's an insider and a scout, and they started twittering the video.
Right.
Hey, this is the best thing you'll see all day. Like,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden I get a little possessive. Hey, motherfucker!
Hey, what do you think?
What are they doing with my band? But it was awesome to see, and also. really kind of scary to see the power of it and see it, and to get caught up in it like you guys have been.
Yeah.
That's got to be really, really strange.
Oh, and I really feel I firmly believe, and this will be a good way to find out if I'm right or not, because I think that everything that's happened to date, as great as it's been, I think that after we do that first talk show, it's gonna quadruple, man.
When you do a talk show,
Yeah,
do
when-
not count this. I have no idea.
Please.
We are doing a talk show.
No.
So tomorrow we're going to get Jimmy.
I'll clarify when we do a TV talk show, and people
Yeah.
and people are actually channel surfing or whatever, and they go, "What the hell is that?"
And that is great. How do I get it?
There you go.
Absolutely. You know how
So-
you get it? RockSugarBand.com.
RockSugarBand.com, and the Share the Sugar thing. What that's about is, first of all, if any of you guys out there are on the Facebook, we're on RockSugarBand.com. We're also on Facebook.com/RockSugarBand. We've noticed the numbers continuing to raise. We've noticed how much you guys have been sharing it with people and spreading the word and everything. We appreciate it so much. And we thought, it's funny because,
Kiss was always supposed to be, Kiss was supposed to be a band for the people, as long as the people have a wallet. I'm just playing.
God damn it, that's gorgeous.
But it's
so perfect.
Thanks, man. But I was like, well, look, what we want to do is every week we want to have a video for the fans. A new video, either of us talking about how we made the record, or showing how we worked the guitar rigs, or doing an unplugged thing, or doing some acapella. Every week there should be a new one of those, and every week we should give a prize away. We should give like an autographed CD or a phone call or backstage passes or something away. And these people have just jumped on it because
Hold on a second, real quick. Is there a backstage in Elgin?
Not an Elgin.
Okay.
No, there's
Just
a back
checking.
driveway.
There is. It's called an alley.
Yeah, it's an alley.
It's
yeah.
called Loadout.
That's right. It's a zone, and it's for immediate loading and unloading only. But anyway, I was like, let's get them involved, because if I were following a band and I was into it, I'd want to have some perks and things like that. So I said, look, I'll make you guys a deal. If you go out there and you spread the word and you actually succeed in getting us played on your radio stations. Because I know what'll happen, Mike. And again, it's not patting myself on the back or you on the back, Chuck. It's just more like, if people hear this, they're going to like it.
Yeah.
Chances
I agree.
are very, very high because they already do. They already like it. They just haven't heard it like this before. So
Right.
it's as close as you get to a sure thing. So if you get us played on the radio, then we're going to try to give you something.
Yeah.
And so people have latched onto this thing, and they're going
They
after and radio has responded, man. I told him, we were sitting there, in the driveway one night after 4:00 in the morning of the studio talking, and I go, you know what? I said, I bet you this gets played on the radio, and he's like, come on.
I'm like, nah.
Because getting rock records on the radio.
Oh,
now,
sure, yeah.
It was hard in the 80s.
Exactly.
Now it's like
Right.
moonwalk. It's like get a rock
Yeah,
at the
I'm like,
Saturn.
who's going to play this on the radio?
Right.
Kiss FM?
But you know
in
what?
between the rap?
Everybody's playing it, man. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of rock stations are jumping on, and they're jumping on because listeners are hearing it and calling and going, "What the hell was that? I want to hear that." Again.
And they should do it because it's wheelhouse for them. Because again, it's everything everybody loves in one. You know what I mean? It's
In a
the
new way.
fucking
It's-
Reese's peanut butter cup of music.
Yeah, I like saying it's all. We want to play all of your favorite songs all at the same time, man.
Right?
You know what I mean? I want to play all your favorite stuff at once.
And in a time where people hear 30-second bites of
Dude.
songs on iTunes, in
Dude.
a time where literally I got satellite radio because I can't stand commercials, and I know there will always be music
the
playing
same guy,
somewhere.
dude.
Bang, bang, bang. I can hit. I've got 18 presets,
Right.
and I know at some point there's going to be music on one of them.
Right.
And
That you like.
to go from Boneyard to the new wave to all of that stuff, and again. This is made for us because it's made for people who like everything. Yeah, exactly. World music. Let's name more stations. I'm an idiot.
Sinatra?
Yeah, nicely done. But that's why you're here, Chuck. Keep me grounded, bring up genres of music.
I have the satellite too,
Just bask in the glory of that solo thing. Seriously, the blending of the solos in Round and Separated. You folks heard it.
Yeah, it was
Fucking
that great.
fantastic.
That's Chuck Duran.
And if you could have heard the Nobody's Fool, oh God, buy it, folks. All
Yeah,
right,
you'll like
so.
it,
It's so good. So, but yeah, it is tailor made for these times because these times are all about people sampling a minute of something, and when they hear you, they're gonna. It's funny. It's going to lead to them wanting to hear all of it.
That's the thing. It's the ultimate band for the ADD generation. Because this day and age, everybody's bored after 45 seconds. The good news with this band is after 45 seconds, it's a brand new song. Every 45 seconds, it becomes something else. So it's like, oh, new shiny objects. And I'm the same way. I want to be entertained. And it's like, it's entertaining. And that's cool.
And I can't stress enough that when you hear it, you will hear something different. Every time you hear a song, it unfolds. You'll hear it, even the way the music connects. And every song, at the end, the way the vocals will dovetail and crash into one another, but never oppressively, never in a way where it distracts you. It always is a perfect blend, and I can't tell you, I can't stress enough, you've got to get this album. Rock Sugar Reimaginator. Go to rocksugarband.com.
Yep.
Share the Sugar is done via your Facebook page?
Yeah, it's done via the Facebook. And just, tune in on there and check back in there, and the contest is every week. And go to your radio stations, because if enough of you guys go and make enough noise, they will listen.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, dude, that we really appreciate your support, Mike. Seriously, and you getting behind us like you did, and everybody out there. I promise you one thing: if you get this record, you'll have a good time with it. And there's a fun thing about it too. It's like if you come to a show, it's like going to a surprise party, because it's just constantly something else, and constantly you don't know what's coming. You think you do, and then you don't, and that's really fun. And with the record, a really fun thing that I think a lot of people are having a good time with is they put it in just to see the looks on their friends' faces. It's like it's that record. It's like you can have your friends over and say, hey, by the way, have you heard this? And you pop it in, and they're all like, oh, sure, I love this song. And then they're like, what the hell? And it's like it's fun to be the person who gets that.
I played it for a friend of mine, and I again, same kind of wheelhouse music.
Yeah.
And I just started, I said, these are people, I kind of gave a thumbnail of us.
Right.
Me liking, I didn't tell them anything about Paradigm.
Okay.
I just said, a guy told me to listen to this band, and I played it.
Carl.
And I said, these are
Carl
Shaw.
Who may be
Exactly.
deceased.
Somebody save Carl. And I said, look, this is a band. These guys they listened to my show, and I heard this.
Yeah.
And it starts to play, and my buddy looks at me and he goes, Kirk Hammett listens to your show?
Yeah.
And it starts to play, and it's unfolding because it's the opening of Sandman.
Right.
And then when the vocal kicks in, you just see their face, and they go, what? And like you said, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And I used to say, you thank me, don't thank me, because I want people to love this as much as I love it. There's a band named Jellyfish. You might have remembered
Love
them.
Jellyfish. Have everything they ever did.
One of my favorite bands of all time. Andy Sturmer.
Do you have the 4-disc collector's
Yes,
set?
I do.
All right.
Box set from Not Lame Recordings.
Not Lame Recordings.
So I picked that up, and Jellyfish is a band that if I could buy their music and pass it out on the street, I would.
Yeah, me too.
Because they
Brilliant.
should be known.
Yeah,
Roger Manning is a genius, but Andy, again,
Andy Sturmer.
he's disappeared more than Carl Shaw. He wrote the Pooh musical in New York. I constantly look for updates on Andy Sturmer. I know a chick who used to bang him, and she's like, well, he lives around here. I'm like, where is he? Send me to his house.
You want to go up and say you're proud of him.
Exactly.
We're proud of you, man.
Proud of you, Andy.
Andy.
But your album is the I would buy it and give it away to people on the street.
Thanks,
I mean, it is something that people need to hear. It is so great.
Thank you, man.
And I can't thank you guys enough for coming. Go to the rocksugarband.com website. Yeah. Pick up Rock Sugar Reimaginator. Digital download soon?
Soon, very, very soon. Yeah.
Okay, so then you don't have to wait 9 days to get something that was a block away.
I promise that won't happen again. We ran out. We ran out, honest. I swear.
Good. That's a good problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem. Yeah.
Chuck will come to your house.
I'll come to your house. You know what? Can I say this? I don't know if you can edit it out later, right?
Go ahead.
I've actually called people back that have actually called about, hey, man, where's my CD?
He calls them personally.
And I call them up and I say, hey, this is Chuck Duran, a guitar player for Rock Sugar.
And they're like, what?
What the fuck? And I'm like, dude, man, we're so sorry, dude. We ran out of CDs, but they're coming in 2 days.
And he won't even call me, so that's really amazing.
Yours is going to be the first order that we get out, and they can't believe that I'm actually calling.
That's
we
perfect.
care about the people that are making this happen, man. We really do.
That's so great.
Kiss cares about the
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I can't laugh. I'll hurt people's ears.
I just want to say, seriously, one last thing. If you ever liked anything about pop, and if you ever
real
liked
quick,
anything about
this is
rock,
not the last thing. It's my show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. From me, before we go.
I don't know who you think you are, Jess.
I think I'm Chuck Duran. Look me up on IMDb.
Good God.
But no, if you ever liked anything about pop, if you ever liked anything about rock, check it out. I think you're going to dig it. And,
you're going to dig it. Go to rocksugarband.com and pick up Rock Sugar's band Reimaginator. You know why you got to get it? Because pop rocks.
Indeed.
Nice.
There you go.
What
See?
a fucking slogan. Perfect. Everything's perfect about what you've done here.
Thanks,
Everything. And like I said, it's like you sat in a lab for 20 years and went, how can we impress Mike Schmidt? Go to facebook.com rocksugarband, facebook.com/rocksugarband, and go in and get involved in the Share the Sugar contest. Get them played on local. Have you guys gotten satellite exposure yet?
As far as I know, I think that's in the works. And I know we were approached by Clear Channel recently in Bloomberg and some other. You're going to hear it everywhere.
Good. These guys are going to explode and be big, and it all starts May 1st in Elgin.
We may be in Vegas mid-April. Actually, we may be in Vegas, and what else? We got some other stuff coming up, right?
Well, tour dates and news and new videos and everything is all available at rocksugarband.com.
Absolutely.
You had a sign up. What is that about? Where people can sign in and log into the website?
Oh yeah, tell them.
Yeah,
you know about that.
Well, you go to the website, you log in, and you sign up as a fan, and you get registered, and actually get stuff. We contact you when we're coming to
Even
your
when you don't
town,
want us to contact
you
you.
actually get apparently exactly. We freaking terrorize you. No, but that's where we can keep really, really close tabs to or you can keep tabs on us to where we're going to be and when we're going to be there, so that you're not wondering, well, when are they going to be in my town? Whenever we're going to be close to it, automatically the website knows where you live and say, hey, they're going to be here. You might want to check it out.
You got a GPS. You got a global positioning sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And
Global positioning sugar. Let me finish my line.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's
global
good.
positioning sugar.
Trademark that, man.
I fucking love that.
Yeah. Sure
you
I
do.
just said a bad word.
Again.
I liked it. It works for you. All right, so go to Facebook.com/RockSugarBand. Get involved in the Share the Sugar contest. Go to YouTube.com/user/Chuck24U.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Chuck's YouTube page. That's sadly, Chuck apparently is an 11-year-old girl, and he's gone with Chuck, the number 2, FOR, the letter U.
Which is nice.
I don't know why.
And then if you enter the song names, there's
and then
videos for all both the
it's
songs.
actually youtube.com/user/Chuck2 and then you have to put in the Hello Kitty face. I think that's.
I opened an account once because I wanted to put a comment on somebody's YouTube thing, and so it's the only thing I
get
could.
that though, dude.
I was asleep. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was tired. And I'm like, I entered something that says, "That's not available. Do you want this?" I'm like, "Yes, I'll take it."
You know what is so nice about Chuck 2 for You is it's quaint. And I think that's wonderful. No, but it's just so, because there's something lovable and wonderful about what you're doing.
So you have to go to Chuck 2 for You because, again, that's where they will also, not only on the website, but they'll also put up little sound. Dude, this is what you need to do. You need to reach out to people. And so if you have a minute and a half, 3 minutes of Chuck on an acoustic, anything to stay in touch with fans and grow this.
Right, we're on this together.
Yeah, so people go ahead and do that. And also you can go to myspace.com/rockwithloud.
Remember MySpace?
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know how much longer you're going to be there. I can tell you I will be turning the lights off when I leave this week. But myspace.com/rockwithloud if you want to hear loud and clear, which was the kind of the base of the Rock Sugar Pyramid. Go ahead and check that out.
Indeed, please.
And do we want to give a PR email for bookings or
Oh,
anything
yeah.
like that?
Well, go to the website, and there's a contact for Paradigm right on there. So you can and plus, send emails. There's stuff for publicist questions and stuff for this question and that question and everything else right there on the website. So anything you're looking to ask, get there, and somebody will answer you.
Cool.
Probably Chuck, because he's got nothing else
Book
to do.
us.
Yeah, Chuck's got nothing to do. Chuck's either there or on the phone with you.
Yeah, you can go to my personal website. You guys,
Chuck
man.
2 heart smiley
I'm not
face.
doing the show again.
You have a great.
You're out?
Yeah, see?
Your studio musician website is
Thank
on
you.
Yeah,
Thank
see?
you. See?
I don't even have a personal website.
Exactly.
Look at you, man. See?
I switched my.
You want to send people there? Is that chuckduran.com?
Yeah, you can actually get there by that. ChuckDuran.com.
Yeah, find out more about Chuck and what he likes
if
to
you
do.
Exactly. There's pictures of me. And
Chuck Duran /tilde/_.
yeah, Chuck Duran. Yeah, Chuck Duran.
Make it
for the number.
Yeah,
No.
Make it more difficult for people to get a hold of you, Chuck.
Yeah.
And also, I need to say that I was on a show. I did a show called the Uncle Jeff. I got to make sure I get this right.
Huh?
It was the Uncle Jeff and Kevin with a K podcast.
Okay.
So you can find that in
The
iTunes.
title alone is $1 million.
The best part of it is the two guys who listen to my show and are very nice and asked me to be on their show. And at one point, literally in the middle of the show, I think I talked for 7 uninterrupted minutes. I just took over and started talking because they weren't interviewing me. So I was just, fuck it, I'm going to interview myself. Because they're great guys,
But
really cool.
You're very good at that.
Yeah.
Listen to those guys.
So go to the Uncle Jeff and Kevin with a K podcast. And I think it's at, can you look on, you had internet? Can you go to UncleJeffandKevin.com? Is that where we're going?
So you don't actually spell Kevin with a K, like type that out, Kevin with a K?
I think with the podcast you do, but I don't think you have to with the website.
Because
We'll
what
go
else
ahead and
would
check
Kevin
that
be?
out.
I guess if it was Yiddish, it should be Kevin.
Kevin
with a K.
My name is
Kevin with a K.
And I want to thank everybody real quick because UncleJeffandKevin.com. So you can go there and also find me. So I did that podcast, and it's actually ready for download now when you hear this. Don't forget, you guys can get me at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy, and you can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy, and make sure you use the number 40 for both of those. So it's Facebook.com, Twitter.com, both /the40year-old-boy, and also you can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. And I'm going to thank everybody. First of all, I'm going to thank you guys for coming. It is so huge of you to have come out.
No, we pursued you, man. We said we want to go talk.
You
to
did.
Yep.
You know what? Actually, you did. I will say, because I'm not going to lie to you. You folks know I'm fucking batshit crazy. They wrote me 3 times.
Yeah, I did.
And I did not write them back because I did not think it was going to be comfortable to have guests to speak with because I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to drive. I mean, I'm a passenger, man. Even on my own goddamn show, I'm a passenger. But and this one, there's like heavy. I got to drive and let them kind of shine, and I hope to chime in. So whatever. This is my kryptonite.
You were
dude.
great, man.
I tell people
you were great, buddy.
This is what I always do. Is I always
did
go, I got
fine.
nothing, and I fuck it.
You were outstanding.
So
brother.
they did. They relentlessly tried. Even Angela wrote me. Everybody. I had a PR person. Everybody wrote, and I have to tell you, thank you for being my first guests
we're honored.
ever
Honored.
in 2
We're
years
happy and honored.
on the 40-Year-Old Boy
Absolutely.
podcast.
Wow.
And
May there be 40 more.
So, and I also want to thank Lily Von Stupp for
course.
really going above and beyond for both years. But this is the end of year 2, folks, and I will tell you that we're off next week. There will be something next week. But there will be no show next week. I can tell you that. And will there be a year 3? Oh, yeah, there you go. It'll be Lily and her tits. And I'm just going to say it. Yes, there is going to be a year 3. Everybody was always asking, hey. I always try to be cryptic, like I'm going to surprise people. Why? It's the internet. People just go, well, fuck, I guess that guy's finished. And they're never coming back. And all of a sudden, I'm fucking Carl Shaw of the internet. I don't want that.
Oh, God.
So, there's year 3. So next week, there will be a little bonus for you guys, something fun. And then the week after that, year 3 will start.
Wow.
On April 1st,
Nice.
actually,
Congrats,
is when year 3 starts.
Yeah.
Beautiful season finale.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much, Rock Sugar, for coming out. Go to rocksugarband.com, and we're going to play it out. I'm actually going to have you guys play us out today.
What song you need?
You know what?
Voices.
Voices
in the Jungle. Right?
I love voices, but I also wanted to get people to hear the Nobody's Fool. But fuck it.
Whatever you think, dude.
Yeah,
it's
whatever
your show,
you think.
brother.
That's what
It
I
is
told him,
mine.
man.
It is your show.
It is yours. Keep telling yourself that. It's my show. It's my show.
I'll start to
It's my
believe it.
show.
This is
It's
my show.
goddamn
I can
show.
do
I
this.
can do whatever I want.
I'm good enough. I can make this happen. It's gonna be good.
You know what? I do. I play voices more than anything. So we're gonna play out with Voices in the Jungle, which brings to you Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses and Voices Carried by Till Tuesday, made better and reimagined by our friends here, Chuck Duran.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And Jess Harnell.
That'd be me.
Lead singer, guitarist of Rock Sugar. We've got Johnny Five also, and who's on drums, our
Alex
friend
Track.
Alex Track, Lily Von Stupp. I'm Mike Schmidt, the 40-Year-Old Boy, year 2. Thanks for sticking around, and we hope you'll join us for year 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Rock Sugar.
Rock on, everybody.
I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a decent guy because I am a jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Man, I'm an awful guy. I'm not an awful guy. I am not a good guy. But I don't think I'm a bad person overall. So, and go ahead and by all means judge that. I'm kind of a jagoff. I got no future. What am I talking about? But I am a jagoff. And I'm not a jerk. I'm a nice guy. It's just I guess I have jerky tendencies. I've done so much ridiculous stuff, and then I wonder afterwards, I'm like, man, how come I don't hang out with anybody? Here's why, because you're a dick. You're finished. 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 You're finished.